Not as many as I thought it'd be.
Not like the old days.
Don't get that many in these days.
God, I remember we used to go out in the forest and see 60.
God, it's beautiful. That white horse.
Well, here we are.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Happy Christmas.
Merry
Hope you had
Christmas.
A great Christmas.
Yeah,
You
God.
had a good Christmas?
I'm still full.
Yeah.
I feel awful in terms of the amount of food I've eaten.
Christmas
But anyway,
highlight. What was your Christmas
highlight. Oh, that's a tricky one, you know.
Yeah.
Do you know, I spent lots of time with my brother. That was really nice.
Oh, you're so soft.
I know.
Isn't she sweet?
Oh, thank
Not
you.
quite sweet today.
No,
though, 'cause we're out-
different vibe
Different
right now.
Vibe, different
Yeah.
vibe. So look, we're in a little village, and behind us here, gathering on the grass, are the Cottesmore Hunt, the infamous Cottesmore Hunt. Because we thought we'd go out and give everyone a first-hand experience of what fox hunting's like. Well, I mean, they're going to call it trail hunting at some point, but of course we know that is a smokescreen, a ruse for fox hunting. And so we're going to tell you a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah.
And we're here with the Northants Hunt Sabs, and they're going to be our guides for the morning. And we know that there's some sort of hunting luminaries in here, mate.
Yes, there's some big names in the fox hunting industry. Is it an industry, if you can call that?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
So here we go.
Here we go. Here they come.
They're come out already.
Two of the masters of the Cottesmore here.
Two of the masters of the Cotswolds. Good morning.
Hello. Off they go. Oh, there we are.
And
We need a bit.
Our mission is to tell you a little bit about the fox hunting. So we're going to be referring to a report that's been published by Protect the Wild, and what that did earlier this year was take all the information gathered by the Hunt Sab groups around the country over the last hunting season, and we've got all the stats for that. We can bring you up to date with that.
Lots of damning statistics, which you won't be surprised to hear. Of course, we talk about fox hunting. It makes news every single year, all over social media and on mainstream news headlines. Channel 4 do some really great anti-fox hunting
Look, I'll
stuff.
tell you what, let's start with damning statistics.
Oh, well, why not? Let's just dive right in.
Right, so here's the report, and you can check that out on Protect the Wild's website. But here we are. Look, okay, this is our first damning statistic.
Well, you asked me this yesterday,
Yeah,
actually.
go on.
Chris asked me how many hunts did I think went out in the 2022-2023 season.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, this day and age, the number of fox hunt organisations that there are, the amount of times they go out in a year, it can't be that many. I mean, in the hundreds.
Well, go on then. How many do you think?
Yeah,
How
put
many
in the
hunts
comments.
do you think, went out last year in the UK? Yeah, let's find out.
We've got some cars coming.
Yeah, okay, so how many hunts do you think? I mean, you know how many football games there are. That's easy to calculate
Is
and
it?
those sorts of things. Well, I don't. but
I've got no
I
idea.
don't.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm looking for the figure because you put me on the spot here because it's at the back of my dossier.
It's right at the front.
Was it?
Yes, it's right at the front.
Right at the front, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, the answer is, right, more than 15,000. More than 15,000. 15,180 estimated hunt meets in the 22-23 season.
I was surprised.
Staggering, isn't it?
I guessed about 400, I think, yesterday. So I was really shocked by that figure.
Really low. Hey, listen, and then here, staggering bad fact when it comes to fox hunting. 46% of registered trail hunts were caught chasing or killing foxes in the 2022-23 season. Max, let's move back over here and then we can have a look at these lovely people behind us.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, 46% of trailed hunts, and then we'll get onto this a bit later. And
Don't hold the connection.
Okay, hold the connection.
right, okay.
We're having audio problems, but we're working on it, and we will get it right.
Yeah,
Don't hold this bit.
We won't hold that bit. No,
Right.
I've been holding the wrong bit. I'm being told off technically already.
technically already.
I'm technically messed up.
Yeah. Now listen, the other unsavoury fact is that there were 211 instances of hunt violence, and they were 198 minor attacks and 13 major attacks. And a bit later on, we're going to be talking to people from the Northants Hunt Saboteurs who were unfortunately victims of those attacks, both minor and major. So it's not just about killing foxes, it's also about harming anti-hunt activists as well. But
Yeah. But it's not just foxes though, is it? I mean, when these hunts go out, it's not just the foxes that fall victim to it. You've got deer, you've got hare, you've got all sorts of different animals which are chased for a long time, incredibly stressful situations, causing so much havoc for people as well, trespassing through people's land that are anti-hunt, don't want that on the land. They all go there. It's an absolute nightmare for communities. It terrifies communities and for local wildlife, which is already suffering an immense rate. So it's an outdated, horrific tradition, even if you can kind of call it
we
that.
got rid of lots of other traditions, didn't we?
Yeah, so many.
Children up chimneys,
Yeah, chimney sweeps,
burning witches.
burning witches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those sorts of things. They were traditions.
They
but,
were traditions.
but they weren't actually sound, so we got rid of them.
Yes.
And yet this continues.
No,
which
yeah.
is, I don't know.
Yeah, and this is one of the oldest hunts, actually, isn't it? The
Is
Cottesmore Hunt is one of the oldest hunts in the world, I believe. It started in the 1600s.
1600s.
It did, yeah. So this is one of the oldest. It's been going for a long time. Not the numbers that it used to have going on. There's not many people here on horseback.
When we used to first go out in the New Forest, you're questioning the activities of that particular hunt, which we can tell you have now switched to a drag hunt. So they have bloodhounds following a human scent. So the likelihood of them picking up any fox trails would be very limited. So that's the New Forest hunt. Yeah. But when we used to go out, there were 60... even more sometimes.
Yeah, surrounded by people on
riders
horseback.
We're talking about on that,
But here you've got less than 15 riders today.
Yeah, and it's a popular, Christmas time. But then a lot of hunt followers as well, and that's what a lot of other people don't seem to realise, is that it's not just about the people on the horses in their red or black or occasionally sort of browny green coats.
Yes.
The rat catchers, I seem to remember their called.
Yeah, that is.
I think that's the name they give for the people dressed in that fashion. But it's all the hunt followers who arrive on foot as well to follow them around.
Yeah, people on quad bikes a lot of the time as well.
Yeah, the quad bike.
Yeah.
Because they are the terrier men.
Yes.
You see, and they have terriers on the backs of their quad bikes. And the terrier was traditionally used for putting down, if a fox went to earth, it went down a hole, they would put the terriers in to drive it back to the surface. So if you're trail hunting, therefore following a trail, and you're not actually hunting a fox, why on earth would you need any terriers with you in the first place?
Very good question, isn't it?
So what's the point of terrier men? I don't really see the point of that,
Yeah.
That would infer that, in fact, that you might actually be thinking about illegally fox hunting.
Yeah. So for people that aren't aware, we are currently live streaming from the Cottesmore Hunt. We are here today to watch the entire event. We're with the Northants Hunt Sabs, who we're going to be with. They're going to be guiding us and showing us what this hunt is all about. And we're going to be live streaming the whole event, so you can follow on for the next couple of hours watching this fox hunt go on as it does. And we'll be trying to live stream any activity that happens and follow as closely as we possibly can, getting in the action of it all.
Yeah, so at the moment they're just sort of gathering up, presumably having a little bit from the stirrup cup. Are you familiar with the stirrup cup?
The stirrup cup?
Yeah, the stirrup
What
cup.
happens to the stirrup cup?
Oh, I think they put alcohol in it.
Oh, that's right. That's sensible riding, isn't it?
Yeah, or maybe they don't have too much of that alcohol,
No.
one would hope. But anyway, they maybe have a little bit of stirrup cup going on.
So this is the hunt
before
master.
they go out. Anyway, look, I tell you what, should we introduce one of the Northants Hunt Saboteurs? Good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Tell us a little bit about the Cottesmore.
Violence, I think, is where you first start. Amongst the fox hunting offences, violence is their main thing. We've been coming out here every single Saturday for 6 years, and in the week as well. And they've often used extreme violence against us to try and stop us.
And they have been taken to court for that, of course.
They have. One of the perpetrators of the extreme violence from the start of this year got convicted, and he's actually now on the run. He's skipped sentencing, and he's now wanted by Leicestershire Police for assault by beating, threats and various bits and pieces.
And you've had your vehicles vandalised, your equipment stolen.
Yeah, I was driving on a particular day in January where our vehicle was smashed, the windscreen was smashed with a lump hammer, not too far from here actually. So yeah.
And of course the hunt supporters will say that the Sabs, are the troublemakers, but a high percentage of Sabs are female, aren't they, to start with? And they're frequently victims of violence as well.
Hunt's coming out.
Yeah.
They're moving off, so we're just going to stand to the
Let's
side.
just get to the side then and watch them go out. I'll tell you what, let's go between these vehicles. That might be probably the safest place to go.
Have to get back into the car.
So here we are in 2024 in the British countryside, people riding out with a pack of hounds to hopefully, from their perspective, tear a fox to pieces for fun. Absolutely sensational.
Really couldn't make it up.
Couldn't make it up.
Off they go.
Couldn't make it up.
Poor horses, poor hounds. Absolutely disgusting. You just can't make it up. Just can't make it up. Right, we're going to jump in the car. Okay. Follow along. Grace, this one.
You're going to get in first. Do you want to get in first?
Yeah, okay, I'll go around. Yes.
We're in now.
All right. Off we go. So this is going to be a bit of actuality.
Oh, good.
Okay. So this live stream is going to be quite a lot of actuality. We're going to be in and out of cars, jumping through, trying to follow the hunt as close as we can. So it's going to be a bit rough and ready. It's not the usual... Well, I was about to say it's not the usual polished stuff we normally put out, but it's normally not that polished.
Terrier men here as well.
There we go.
One's a woman actually, her name's Ruth Matthews.
Okay.
Right, so they've got terriers in the boxes on the back of those quad bikes, and you've got to ask why, if they've laid a trail. So that's, what they are meant to be doing, or what they'll claim to be doing, is trail hunting. And trail hunting has been enabled by a loophole that was left in the 2004 Act, which has allowed them to say that they are laying a scent, and typically that would be the scent of a fox. So that would mean that someone has been out this morning dragging that across the countryside, so that the hounds, which are trained obviously as scent hounds to pick up on the trail of that scent, would then follow it through the countryside, just the scent that had been lailed. But of course, that's not what happens. I doubt very much that anyone has been out, laying a trail early this morning in the cold and the mist and everything else. And what will happen is that if they go out and those dogs, which are trained to obviously scent foxes, find a fox, they will pursue it. But then, of course, that would be illegal. So they would obviously call those hounds off of the fox. But they wouldn't need those terriers in that box on the back of the quad bike to flush it out from the ground, would they? Because that would be illegal. But anyway, there we are. There seems to be a terrier man in attendance.
14 on horseback. So what we're watching is definitely trail hunting. There is a difference between trail and drag hunting. Drag hunting is very different, usually using bloodhounds, not foxhounds, which this hunt is currently using. Bloodhounds tend to be a little bit slower. They're usually not also trained on fox scent. They're brought up not using that real scent of the fox. Bloodhounds use much more artificial scents like aniseed, and they'll follow that kind of really strong but very much more wildlife friendly scent through the countryside. So drag and trail hunting, very different things. Trail hunting is the smokescreen for illegal fox hunting. Very little difference, and so much illegal activity captured by the Hunt Sabs every single year. And this hunt are notorious for it, as we've already said. But it starts off quite slow.
Yeah, it seems, looking here at the minute, that the field riders have obviously spotted our presence and the presence of live video on social media to potential millions, and want to hold us all up. They wouldn't normally go in this slow on a public road. So it looks like we're being held up a little bit to put a bit of distance between us and the hounds. Right,
so they've sent the hounds off right ahead to try and get the scent of I use quotation marks here, a trail / fox scent. So they've gone off. And how far ahead would they typically get from the hunt itself?
Difficult to say at the minute. There's always a couple hundred metres between field master and hounds, because hounds have always got the priority. They want the hounds to work and find the scent. But at the moment, it's difficult to work out which way they might have gone. I think there's some stalling tactics going on.
It's fun when you get a camera out and you start saying on social media that you're live streaming it. Behaviour's changed a little bit, which we kind of expected.
Yeah, it seems to have. Yeah, haven't got any of their hired stewards at the minute either, which they've been using for the last month or so. So yeah, we'll see. Just trying to get a nice visual of the hounds at the moment.
Yeah, tell us a bit about who we've got in attendance today.
So far I've spotted Andrew Osborne, who is Vice Chairman of the British Hound Sports Association. They were just a sort of rebrand of the hunting office after Mark Hankinson was convicted for admitting that trail hunting is a smokescreen for fox hunting. So Andrew Osborne's here. He was a former master and huntsman of this hunt as well. We've got Nicholas Leeming here, Chairman of the Cottesmore Hunt. He's riding today. He also went to court with the Mark Hankinson trial and lied in court, you know, backing Mark Hankinson up. So we've got some notable people. Yeah, I think he might be in on the left, you know. I think we can hear a hunting horn. There is a footpath a little bit further up there, driver.
Yeah.
Perhaps you can put us on that one and see if we can investigate.
And hunting horns, of course, keep the hounds together, don't they, and kind of give them a direction?
The hunting horn is the tool that's used to direct and control the hounds, whether it be to stop them, call them back, or encourage them to keep hunting. So just field riders are just going into the left. So he's potentially drawing this little copse here.
Right. We're sticking to public footpaths for the sake of this live stream. So we won't follow directly, but we'll go to the closest footpath and try and get as close as we can and get ahead of them, and we'll meet them when they come out. But hounds are typically very loud, so if something happens, we'll be able to hear.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, can't see anything at the minute. Oh yes, we've got redcoat in there, possible whipper-in or huntsman. And
Hounds
we've got
are there.
hounds in there. So that's actually quite a good visual to have a look here, driver. We can have a look at what's going on.
You see they're actually.
Can you stop for a nice gap for us, please?
Yeah, I'm looking for a gap.
They're quite
lovely, that's
separated, aren't they? All the horses have kind of.
He'd be casting them. The word we'd use is casting the hounds,
Right.
searching, looking, let them go. You know. We can have a little stop here somewhere. To get a good visual there.
All right.
Just see the hounds here.
Yeah. You can see the redcoat standing out quite well against the trees. All the hounds around them as well.
Do you think someone led a trail through there this morning? All through all those brambles?
Oh, I can't imagine that would be a good thing to do.
About 3 hours ago when it got light, do you think you would have felt like getting up and dragging a package with fox scent through all of those brambles?
Yeah, I can't say I'd fancy that, to be honest,
No,
and I can't really see anyone else doing that. It was foggy, it was wet.
He's certainly, as you say, he's casting the hounds through in an attempt to try and find the scent of a fox. Do you think that looks a likely place to lay a trail?
No, that's just saying. I just was saying I didn't fancy getting up this morning and running through there and laying a trail. Frankly, you know.
can now hear the horn call. He's calling the hounds through.
Yeah.
What he calls drawn a blank where he hasn't found anything. It's very thick and brambly, isn't it?
It's so thick. There's no way anyone would have put a trail through that. That sound still just gives me absolute shivers every time I hear it. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, pretty used to it, but you know. Nicholas Lehman is just up there. One of the riders I mentioned earlier, chairman of the hunt. Have you laid a trail in there this morning, Nicholas? Now's your time to talk. We're talking to millions. Have you laid a trail in there this morning, Nicholas? Has a trail been laid in there this morning, Nicholas? No answer.
Hey, just have a little look in here. Have a look at this land. So that is where the hounds have just come through. You can see that's thick brambles. The hounds came through the centre of that with the horses. That would have meant that a human this morning would have had to got up first thing and gone through the middle of that little copse here, laying a trail. If it were to be justified as trail hunting, do you honestly think that anyone did that?
Absolutely. There's no way anyone did that.
It's not
No
trail
way
hunting,
anyone
is it,
did
really?
that.
Looked to me like those animals were just out, you know, looking for a fox trail. Anyway, they've moved on.
They're looping back around that way.
Jump back in the
There's a redcoat looping back around. We've got to get in the car.
Okay.
Oh, they've gone over there.
Okay.
They've gone round the back.
Yeah, coast, no problem.
Go in the middle, please.
Okay. Oh my God.
He's gone to Mount Pleasant.
Right. Because there's a lot actually behind us. I wonder if they...
That's the field riders I mentioned. There will be a distance between field riders and hounds.
Right.
Huntsman likes to take the hounds on, find the fox, hounds go in cry, and at that moment then the field riders will be galloping at speed, hoping to get a visual of a fox being chased. They're not innocent parties, these paying field riders at all. They pay their money to come here, have a hack around, but also they want to see a fox killed, you know.
And how much would someone pay to like go on a hunt like that? Be a field rider?
Well, you'll get a daily cap fee, or you'll get a particular day. Like you could pay for all the Saturdays, or a golden ticket for this hunt would be like all 3 meets in a week. So like every meet of the season, you'd be paying about £3,000 a year.
£3,000 a year
for this particular hunt. Yeah.
For this?
To come out at every single meet.
Why don't you just go horse riding? I'm not being funny.
As I say, it leans back towards the fact that they want to see an animal chased and potentially killed, you know, by a pack of hounds.
It's just awful.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we're in a little hiatus here. Should we have
a
few more facts? Okay, a few more facts here. So this is the data that was published in the report put together by Protect the Wild using the Hunt Sab data that was sent in for the 2022-2023 season. There were 599 reported traffic offences, trespasses, road havoc, we'll come on to that a bit later, and non-quarry based incidents. Non-quarry, that means wildlife or pets, obviously therefore not foxes, non-quarry based incidents. And most of those, 169 of them, were related to badger set interference. Essentially, mainly they were digging badger sets up because a fox had gone to earth in them. And 1/3 of all of the observed, and of course that's not all of them, but the observed Blackford and Sparkford Vale hunt, another notorious hunt, saw a fox chased or killed. So 1/3 of the days that they went out when they were monitored. As we've already said at the top, 15,180 estimated hunt meets in the 2022-23 season. That must stagger you. I mean, even if you'd have asked me and I knew there were thousands, I would never have said in 2022-3 that there would have been 15,000 of these types of events rolled out across the country over the course of the winter and early spring. And 73% of observed hunts were reportedly involved with some form of harmful behaviour. And 61, as I said, had at least one report of set interference, badger set interference against them. So there's a lot of interesting stats here, some of them really surprising, I think. I think the large number of hunts, 15,000. Sadly, I was talking there about those non-quarry based incidents. 88 deer were chased and 21 killed by hunts. Those were those that were observed, of course, and it's likely that many more went unobserved. Anyway, I'll hand you back to Megs. What's going on in the front there?
Just gone in the field.
They've just headed to the right-hand side in the field. The hounds have just ran in. It's still quite foggy, isn't it? So it's hard to see, but
yeah, you can see on our map there that they're heading to a small wood called Coston Cover, which is a bit of a favourite for these. We have actually found in the past, haven't we, Sab, artificial earths in that particular wood. Artificial earths are man-made fox dens. They're made by the hunt to encourage foxes to breed and live during the summer months, so that when they come in the winter, they've got a good fox population to hunt. Again, another sign. Why have we got these things in woods where you take your hounds and where you hunt? You know.
Yeah, of course. You don't encourage a population just to kill it.
Absolutely.
And kill it in one of the most brutal ways imaginable. Okay, we've just managed to drive past some of the cars that are the hunt supporters, heading down the field now, trying to keep up with them, get ahead of them, hopefully, so that when they come out, are we going to try and meet up with them after this wood?
We're just going to try and get to the nearest footpath, which sits on the northern side of Coston Cover, and potentially go in if we need to. If he hangs around at the wood long enough, we'll go in and see what's going on.
Yeah, and that's a sign, isn't it, that they've come across something if they're just hanging out there.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's now taken his hounds to Coston Cover. I'm assuming, we'll soon see. Again, to cast his hounds in the wood in the hope to find a fox. As you saw back there, if these people were genuinely trail laying, why would you put your hounds through woods, scrub, dense, sort of thick areas like that? There's a high chance that you're going to find a wild mammal. You know, it's
anything,
bizarre.
not just a fox. It could be anything. As we said earlier, instances of deers being chased, deers being killed, hare as well being, chased throughout the countryside.
Yeah, and you saw there, we've just given Nicholas Lehman a chance to answer. Did you lay a trail in there? Asked him 3 or 4 times. The guy says nothing. It's very fishy sort of behaviour.
Yeah, I mean, no evidence of it at all. I mean, they should be some sort of addition to the law with this kind of thing, that they have to really note where the trails have been laid. I mean, is there anything like that? Do they have to notify where a trail has been laid and provide evidence of that?
They don't, unless they're under a sort of community protection warning or notice by the police. They may have to produce maps of trails, etc.
That should surely just be a given. If that's one of the requirements of trail hunting, that should be something they'd all have to do all of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I've asked this huntsman, Sam Jones, in the past, is there a trail laid in there? That's words to that effect, and he's often turned around and said, I don't know, it's not my job to know. So,
I don't know. What? Oh, whose job is it then?
To ask him today.
Whose job is it then if it's not his job?
Well, it doesn't happen, that's the point.
Exactly.
It's a ridiculous mythical fantasy, there's no such thing as trail laying with these guys. I think they're trying to rub shoulders with the drag hounds and the bloodhounds to try and again create another smokescreen. That's what they do. They're two totally different organisations.
The thing is, people are wising up to it now. Like, people are so aware of the impact of fox hunting, what it means, a good understanding of it.
Yeah.
People see through those smoke screens so easily, and like we said earlier, just because something's been going on for a long time does not mean it should continue. It does not mean that it is ethical in the modern day. With modern knowledge, modern science, we know better than this.
I think they especially see through the smokescreen when they're the director of the hunting office, Mark Hankinson, from the Wilton Hunt, in 2021 admitted it to over 100 hunt masters on a webinar. He admitted that's his word,
Yeah, well, that was an amazing thing that you guys, the Hunt Sabs, managed to get. Them saying it's a smokescreen. That was a huge turning point, another nail kind of in the coffin for fox hunting.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll difficult with the fog there, but we can.
It's quite foggy.
Down and have a look.
Right, let's get out. Pop the phone away. This is a public footpath now. Really hard to see in this fog. Going in? Ooh, it's a bit slippy.
Where are we going? We're on the footpath here that leads into the northern side of Coston Cover, the wood I mentioned they were heading towards. So.
It's worth us going down here then, yeah?
Yeah, well, I think with this visibility we haven't got much choice to go and investigate and have a look.
Please hand me the mic a moment, I just want to do a little plug. Yeah, whilst we're running this morning, you may see coming up on screen there are some links where you can make donations to the Northants Hunt Saboteurs, the group that we're out with this morning. In the last couple of years, they've suffered terrible violence to themselves and to their vehicles. They've had their equipment stolen, their vehicles, windows smashed, tyres slashed, etc. So any donations there would be most welcome. Hunt Sabs, of course, active all over the country, going out and doing this invaluable monitoring work, the stats of which is what we've been giving you this morning, so you can get a clearer picture of what fox hunting's really about. And then lastly, Protect the Wild, who are the people who assimilated all of that data and put it into that excellent report. And I would urge you again to visit their website, take a look at the report there, download the PDF, share it as widely as possible. And again, if you can make a small donation to their invaluable work, that would be great. Anyway, here we are, man. Brisk little walk in the countryside.
It's a bit brisk. It's a bit chilly, and visibility is so tough, isn't it? You can't really see anything right now.
Yeah. I'll tell you another thing we ought to say. A little shout out whilst we're being, in that frame of mind.
Yeah.
Fabian He's doing camera and he's set this whole thing up, and
He's
the whole
currently
live
walking
stream.
backwards on a muddy field, trying not to slip over.
Yeah, but not only that, he's
And not slipping over, I should say.
But he's been really very, very ill over Christmas. He's had this bug. Yeah, there he is.
There we go, coughing away.
We were
If the
gonna
camera moves, that's why.
We were going to be sponsored by Strepsils this morning because Fabian has eaten enough over. He's eaten more Strepsils than certainly any, vegan roast potatoes over the Christmas period.
That's so sad.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, he's not feeling great. He is coughing.
He's out in the mist, in the cold, running around with a camera, trying to.
And so much appreciation to Fabes.
Yeah.
For
Thanks, Fabes.
Yeah, for braving it. And there's one other thing we ought to say, and that is, of course, that we are following public footpaths, so we're not trespassing at any point. It's absolutely critical that we do that, certainly for the, purposes of our filming this morning, which means that's why we can't be over there, which is ideally where we'd like to be.
With the hounds in the hunt.
Hounds, seeing what they're doing, but we're limited to access to public footpaths. And anyway, another good piece of news over the Christmas period.
Did you?
The government said they were going to take away that moratorium, as it were,
Yes.
on footpaths.
That'd be brilliant.
So they they won't be closed, and they'll be kept open for public access to the countryside. So on occasions like this, ourselves and the Northants Hunt Saboteurs can really see what's happening.
You can try and limit illegal activity, which should have been outlawed decades ago.
Yeah, because if this footpath weren't here, we wouldn't be here. So that's another.
And more importantly, they wouldn't be here.
Yeah. Right, what's going on there?
What's happened?
Can't hear anything.
What's going on?
We can hear the huntsman's horn over in this direction.
Right.
Again, visibility is really bad at the moment.
Is that a copse over there on that side?
Let's have a
Is it a
little
copse?
look.
It's checking the habitat type.
Yeah.
It would
be.
Don't touch the connection.
Oh, don't touch the connection. Fabian, you can say.
Yeah.
Not used to this.
When visibility's bad like this, you've got to rely on. There you go. So
There you go, the hounds.
So a bit of noise. I'm going to take a look.
They're over that way.
I hear it, yeah.
Weird, eerie, isn't it? In weather like this, conditions like this.
Just got my little packet of stats out. You know how much I love a little packet of stats.
You do. Content is king.
So, in the 22-23 season, 78 different hunts were reportedly involved with chasing or killing foxes. And I'll read a little quote from the report here. It says, what the data show is that's Fabian coughing, sponsored by Strepsils, is that 78 different hunts were reportedly involved with chasing or killing foxes in the 2022-23 season. The Master of Foxhound Association, which oversees the governance of foxhound packs, said it had 170 registered hunts during the 22-23. How tall do you think I am? Right. Right. That means that nearly 46%, right, this is it, 46% of registered hunts were caught hunting foxes in 2022-2023. And they spanned the length and breadth of England and Wales, from the Western Hunt in Cornwall to the West Percy Hunt in Northumberland, and from the Sennybridge Farmers Hunt in Wales to the Waveney Harriers in Norfolk. So this is widespread illegal activity, no question.
Tip of the iceberg though, right? Because there are only a set number of hunt sabs, a set number of groups going out to monitor these hunts. There's more hunts than there are, being able to be monitored all the time. So that's tip of the iceberg statistics. The likelihood is there's a lot more foxes that have died, a lot more incidents that have taken place, but either haven't been seen, haven't been reported, or haven't been acted upon by local authorities.
And like now, we can't see what's going on because we're restricted, in terms of our access to the footpaths.
Yeah, and visibility is really tough. You can't see what's going on. Harder for cameras to get that information. But this is why the work of the hunt sabs is so important, because they're here, they're monitoring. They're out in the cold and the wet. Well, we're in food comas, digesting Christmas dinners and everything on Boxing Day. They're out in the cold and the wet. Another horn going off there. Doing what they can to protect our wildlife. We're on the move. That's quite noisy now. They're directly. They're getting louder.
Yeah.
is the louder the hounds get, the more likely it is that they've found something. If you have dogs, you know that they get more vocal and they get a bit more excitable.
Look, I know my hearing's not great, but aren't they coming from over there?
No, it's that way. Oh, there we go. There's a fox! Fox on the run! Oh, that was a hare. No, it's a hare. Sorry, bad eyesight in the conditions, but there's a hare running across the field. Oh, poor thing. It was so misty.
But again,
another animal just being chased.
Yeah.
So that's maybe what the hounds are excited about if they sniffed out that hare. Yeah, hare running through.
Go on, mate, run as fast as you
God, poor thing.
can.
Yeah, constantly disturbing wildlife. There's some shouting going on. Did someone just shout, leave it?
Yeah, that's the other sabs.
Right.
Trying to stop them on that scent. Remember that a lot of these foxhound packs have admitted that when they've claimed that they trail lay, it's a fox-based scent. So if they was to pick up on a live fox, then they're going to get more drawn to that than they would.
Of course they are.
Do you know what I mean? So
a fresher scent, one that's a bit more potent.
Yeah.
Like.
But that's just a complete cover-up. They're out here looking for foxes.
And when they say fox-based scent, that they're meant to. Got another hare. Oh yeah, hare in the back.
Yeah.
Poor thing. So disorientated. They're moving down.
Maybe
go down.
Yeah.
But when they say, they lay fox-based scent for trail hunting, I mean, what scent are they meant to be using? Like,
they've claimed fox urine.
how do they get
North
that?
America.
Imported from North America. That sounds expensive.
Also, they're never very open on any potential licences you might need for that as well. So, yeah, they seem to keep digging themselves deeper and deeper, I think.
Yeah, that always makes me. Where did you get the fox scent from?
Exactly, yeah.
Has gone quiet. Oh, there's the horses up the top. See, a white horse stands out against the mist. There's a few actually running towards the right. They're literally going along the edge of the forest, or the trees. I wouldn't call it a forest actually. It's a bit too small for that. The woods. Scouting the edges if anything's hiding. Trying not to get itself out in the open, perhaps.
Spotted a kestrel over there, gone up in that tree.
Kestrel?
Yeah, kestrel on the left-hand side of that ash tree. Yeah, that was nice.
That's something nice, at least.
Yeah, that was nice. I like that. So that's your colleagues, isn't it, in the Sabs on the
That's
hill?
the other team. Yeah, it's gone to get a little bit closer to him. You can hear them horn calls. Can you hear them horn calls?
Yeah.
That doubling noise. That's an exciting call. Trying to encourage hounds to find. Keep looking. Keep searching.
Yeah.
Quad bike close by.
With the terriermen on it.
Funny how they're always in the same locations, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Might be a case
Okay.
of going back to the road anyway and
Back to the
going
car.
round. With that other team there, there's no point in us both going. So
Okay, we head back round.
Should we head back then?
yeah.
We can get in the car. Do you remember your first fox hunt that you saw?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I remember it. I got on my bike and I cycled out to the Hursley and Hambledon hunt, and to Hursley actually, which wasn't too far from my
A bit louder.
where I was growing up in Southampton. I remember standing up on the hill. I mean, there was just lots of. I remember it being a lot busier, you know, and I remember them all riding around, just thinking how absolutely chaotic it was. All the roads were jammed up. I mean, it was just a mess, and you know, was massively into foxes, so it was, yeah, hideous.
Pretty distressing.
Hideous, yeah.
It's getting a bit louder again.
Yeah, we can still hear his back and forth a little bit.
They're coming closer.
Yeah, okay. Looks like it might be coming back towards us. Yeah. Okay, then yeah, you do that. That's cool.
They're coming around this way.
Cool. Full thing that tends to happen.
So they're looping back round this way.
It sounded like it, didn't it?
They sounded like they were down by this hedge line.
Yeah. There we are. Well spotted, Chris. Yeah. We've got a couple of hounds there on the hedge line.
Yeah.
Again, you can hear his voice call. That woo, encouraging. He's encouraging the hounds. He's trying to alert any potential fox that may be laying in the hedge line, etc. Why would you be making noises like that if you were trail hunting? Why?
Yeah, why'd you be trying to intimidate an animal? Get it to run. If you're following an artificial scent.
Yeah, exactly. Just dipped behind there, have they?
Yeah, I've gone behind that.
Again, that. He's encouraging the hounds.
They don't seem to care that you come to virtually every one of their meets and monitor what they're doing, and they just carry on regardless.
They carry on regardless.
Yeah. Why is that then? Do they not fear, you know, being caught out at all?
No, but also they've always had the shield, the Cottesmore, of the hired violence that they've always used to try and keep us out of the fields. It's never worked. We're still here now, you know. What have we got?
No, hold on. There's people there, but I think that's your colleagues.
Yeah, it
Riders.
does sound like he's
Oh,
coming.
it is riders, is it?
They're coming in, are they?
They're coming along the edge of that wooden channel in there.
Okay.
If
we
we
should
you
go
know
back.
what, if we
Okay,
go back
let's
on
go
that line,
back down to the bottom. You got your Fitbit on, Megs? Yeah, I'm thinking more. I'm thinking more than 10,000 today.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, thinking working off some of those Christmas calories. So where are the rest of the riders? Because it looks at the moment as if there's only two. Oh, there they are at the top of the field. Sorry, yeah. God.
As I said earlier, they will. It's sort of hunting etiquette. Field riders will never get in front of the hounds as they're working. They're always to stay behind.
Right.
Once the hounds pick up and get moving at speed, you'll see the field riders move with them as well.
He seems to have stopped now. Maybe that's because he's seen us down here.
Yeah. My phone's on here. Let me take this call. Hello, mate. We've got him here, yeah. We've got him in front of us. Okay. Yeah, he's just approached us now. Though it doesn't look like he's stopped because he's seen us. I'm not sure this hunt knows what to do actually this morning.
More
got
hounds
some
coming
hounds
round
to
the
the
back.
side.
Hold on. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of hounds around the back. Here they come.
Hounds are speaking, Sab. I will have to go.
Oh, look at the covered in mud they are.
Yeah. And obviously there's always issues with hounds' welfare as well. We'll go on later to talk about road havoc, which is where all of the animals spill out onto the roads. Last time Fabian and I were at a hunt, one of the hounds went out onto the road, was unfortunately hit by a car.
We laid a trail in here, Sam. Is there a trail laid here? Well, normally you don't know where the trails are laid. Normally you don't know where the trails are laid, but all of a sudden this morning you do.
Funny that.
Interesting. Oh, right, are they? You put your hounds in two wooded areas this morning, Sam.
Well, that hound's expressing. Yeah. Okay. Well, unfortunately that happened off camera, but never mind. Doesn't it sort of bizarre though? In 2024, in the UK, in the midst of a biodiversity crisis, there are still people who are, basically allowed, because it is illegal, but we let them get away with it, going out, on a Saturday morning, right, into the countryside with a pack of dogs to tear wildlife to pieces.
There's such a disconnect there. There is something so horribly wrong with this, and how we manage to, we think it's okay to hold on to traditions like this when we've lost over 70% of the world's biodiversity. Yeah. And yet what kind of message does this send, that we're still here, a nation of animal lovers supposedly, although I don't see that as often as I'd like it to, allowing this to happen, watching people, red coats in very specific uniforms, round on horses, surrounded by these poor hounds, and I the ethics of the hounds is awful.
Oh, don't. We've seen all those videos in recent times, and again you can check them out on the Hunt Sabs website on Protect the Wild, where they're being inhumanely euthanized.
We just make our way back up to the brow.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, they're shot, don't they? If they're not very good hounds for a hunt.
Yeah. And then what about that incident a few years ago when someone was filmed throwing fox cubs into the kennels where all of the hounds were, living fox cubs?
But they have to learn the scent of a fox, and that's how they do it. They go out, they go into the fox dens, they grab these poor babies and then chuck them into the hounds to be torn apart alive. And you see this on footage, and the sound of it is just atrocious. And that's how these hounds learn. It's not the hound's fault, it's not the horse's fault. They've been programmed, unfortunately, by people living in a very outdated mindset that this is okay.
The Hunt Sabs?
Yeah.
They're always sort of putting out appeals for equipment and things, which is fine, of course, and we support all of that.
Yeah, of course.
What they really need, I've just figured it out.
What do they need?
They need some horses.
That'd be quite good, actually. They do need some horses. Help them get into tight spots a bit better.
Because then we could be in like a little buggy at the moment.
We could be what? We'd be on a horse?
So I'm sort of panting up this hill.
You need God, you really are. You need to get a move on, Chris.
Yeah, all right.
Come on.
I know.
It's not that much of a hill.
No, okay, no. It's an incline.
You couldn't hunt sab every week, could you?
I'd have to get down the gym before I was out hunt sabbing,
Barry has a preview picking up.
Yeah. Oh, I think I might.
Just see him going across the land there. Field riders again are holding up. You can just see the hounds going through.
Did those field riders come in behind us?
They're the same ones that cut across.
Oh, did they?
They did a bigger loop.
To try avoiding us.
Hounds are picking up again. You see them there?
Yeah.
But the sound's going off again. Oh yeah, they go all the way up over that top field. Thing is, that's the direction that the hare went in.
Is it?
Yeah, the hare went across and in that way. So they could be picking up on that hare scent again.
I'll tell you another thing that strikes me a little bit weird, Beast.
Yeah.
Well, if we sort of brought a bunch of sort of teenagers out from the city and said, rampage across this countryside, you can run across all of this cop field here, look, this cop, right? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Just
with your dogs.
With your dogs.
With your dogs. Let your dogs off lead, run everywhere.
Yeah.
Just let them go.
Across all of the...
No.
No, that would be frowned upon, wouldn't it? Yeah.
But somehow they sat on a horseback in a red coat and they're allowed to do it.
It's weird.
Yeah, you've got two quad bikes here coming in.
Terry men coming up.
Well, we've certainly made one. We'll see about the other quad.
Okay.
round and going back.
Round the other way. Some of the day riders coming back through as well. Okay.
Yeah, you'll have a jumping field and a non-jumping field. So those that are confident of jumping hedges and whatever will go one way, and the non-jumping will go the other where they've gone.
Sure, I feel like I've gone back in time.
1666 when they first began.
Are we back in 1666? By
Time of a great fire.
Yeah.
Time of a not so great plague.
Plague.
We got rid of the plague.
Yeah. Why haven't we got rid of this?
Thankfully, we haven't had any great fires any longer.
No.
We have great fire brigades, fire and rescue.
Yeah.
But this nonsense is still going on.
How is that?
Oh dear. It's like we can't get over a nasty little bit of our history, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think now then? Because they've galloped off into the distance.
Yeah, let's just work off the maps and have a
Consult
look.
the map.
Where they're going.
Is this what it's always like when you come out? Cat and mouse.
Cat and mouse. It's cat and mouse. It's a game of chess. You're always trying to get in front of them and protect the areas. We know this area and a lot of the Cotswold meets very well. Obviously, I've been doing it for 6 years. So we try and always get in front if we can.
I mean, the mission, of course, we should say, for the Hunt Sabs is to not only document, the behaviour of the hunt, all the transgressions that they're making, but also to protect wildlife and to try and make sure that the hounds don't pick up on the scent of a fox, and if they do, then to try and draw them away from that scent.
Yeah, multiple ways of doing that, of course, by shouting, giving commands. Sometimes a horn is used, isn't it, by the Sabs to lead them off in a totally different direction where there hasn't been any wildlife recently. So different methods to redirect the hounds, and they can be quite effective, but it's exhausting work, and I've got massive respect for them coming out here week after week during the season. It's
poor weather.
Yeah, threat to themselves as well.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Oh no, hold on. Just climbed up this hill. Right. Hold on, my Fitbit's on fire.
Wait till the end of the day.
Oh, I can see riders there, look.
Yeah, and you can hear the hounds are down back in this corner.
Yeah, there they are, crossing back. They're going to go back to that wood, maybe.
So anything that thinks, oh, it's got away to some sort of safety, the hunt's left. Oh no. Coming back round again.
I don't know. This hedge is looking pretty good though. I mean, it's not the best hedge, but I mean, it hasn't been flailed to pieces. Still got berries on there. Look.
A few berries.
Yeah. Congrats to the farmer on and it's got a little bit of a margin here.
Yeah.
Well, a ditch and a bit of a margin here. Look.
Yeah, a little, slightly.
Slightly, yeah. I mean, I've seen better, but I've seen much worse. So.
Well, the state of the UK. Hedgerows.
Yeah.
Pretty falling,
so thank you to that farmer for not flailing that to pieces during the autumn. Robbing all of the birds of those berries. Yeah, I can still see plenty of berries on there for field fares, redwings, visiting thrushes. Maybe the wax.
Oh, we haven't had many waxwings this year. It's been a bad year for the wax.
No
A good
waxwings.
year last year, but that's normal. It fluctuates.
Yeah. Have there been any?
I don't. Not that I've seen any reports of. I might be wrong. Correct us if we're wrong, but I haven't seen any reports this year of any waxwings.
Oh, imagine having a waxwing when you're out joining the Hunt Sabs. Hey.
Be distracted.
Yeah.
Waxwings.
No,
I didn't. I was worried about them being a bit grabbed.
Well, it's like deja vu.
Yeah. So we've got another team over the other side, tracking them best they can.
Good place for a kestrel, that ash tree.
It's still there?
No, it's not. No, but just saying.
Hounds are speaking again in the distance there. again, by starting off or bringing them in up here, they've gone round, and when a mammal, fox, hare, etc. is hunted, it will run in circles until that circle becomes smaller and smaller. You know, so that's another indication. They've started there and now they're back there again. They've done a full circle.
If it was a trail and I was someone laying a trail, would I go back to the same place, you know, immediately after? But I do, like, that again, that's an animal movement behaviour, isn't it? That's something that you say that mammals do.
Exactly. When they're hunted, when they're in fear, when they were looking to get away.
Yeah.
You know, so
go back to the area which they know, their safety of their den or whatever their home may be, depending on the species.
Which
you
is
circle
usually
back.
a wood, or perhaps a hedge line that they may have a den in. You know.
Yeah. So I come back round to this exact spot again within the space of like 10 minutes. Their
intention is to find a fox, hunt it, chase it, and kill it if possible. That's the intention of these so-called trail hunts. It's as simple as that.
Well, can I get another one of my little graphics?
Go on, give us a graphic.
You know, graphical representation. So this is another one from the Protect the Wild hunting report for the season 2022-23. And here you can see that the Warwickshire Hunt, they were seen chasing 39 foxes, one of which they killed. The Blackmore and Spartford Vale Hunt were seen chasing 30 and they killed 4 foxes. Beaufort Hunt, 12 foxes chased, 2 were killed. South Dorset 11, 2, Exford 10 and 2. So here you've got a lot of foxes being deliberately chased and a significant number of foxes that are being killed. And of course these are only, you know, a small number of those hunts and those which are being monitored on those days. And the staggering statistic that we want to keep at the forefront of our little broadcast this morning is that more than 15,000 events like the one we're at this morning take place throughout England and Wales during the course of the hunting season, which runs throughout the autumn, winter and early spring.
And for anyone who's just recently joined us, we are at the Cottesmore Hunt. We're joined by the Northants Hunt Sabs group who are guiding us around. We're getting in and seeing what this notorious fox hunt are up to. It's one of the oldest fox hunts in the UK, in fact in the world, and they have been known for a lot of illegal activity, both to biodiversity but also threatening a lot of the hunt sabs themselves. We'll be speaking and hearing from more of them later on. So that's our mission, really, is just to kind of see what they're up to, get a flavour of it for ourselves, but also kind of broadcast this activity, which is still going on in 2024, nearly 2025.
Staggering. And coming up on your screen, you might see some links to click where you can donate to the Northants Hunt Saboteurs, who are kindly hosting us this morning. The Hunt Saboteurs in general. Remember, this is direct action out in the field. It's collecting all of that data which has been put together to produce this valuable report that obviously we'll be taking to government to try and encourage them to speed through their manifesto promise of closing the gaps in the law and making sure that trail hunting is made illegal.
Just heading round a little bit. It's gone a little bit quieter, perhaps. The hounds have looped back round to this wood again. We did hear them for a while. Now they've kind of gone off in the distance a little bit. So following the public footpath round, we're making sure that we stick to the public footpaths for the sake of the broadcast.
Hey, look, unknown area here.
Yeah.
Got grassland. More good work from the farmer.
Yeah, good bits of grassland. Off. So hopefully we'll catch up pretty quick. Oh no, it's this hill that's getting me. Chris got done by the last hill, now it's this one.
What's the Fitbit say?
I don't have one. I don't have a Fitbit, so can't tell you, but I'll tell you my overall steps at the end of this live broadcast. Something to keep you waiting on the edge of your seats to find out who's done more steps.
Over 3,000 people watching right now.
Oh, hello. Thank you very much for joining us today. You're all going to be very excited to see the ultimate daily step count. Yes. a little highlight after what is a broadcast about a not such a nice issue, but an important one. So the more people that see and hear, the better, really. Right, catching up to the edge of the wood now. Got the quad bikes.
Right, so what we've got here then? We've got the Hunt's quad bike on the left, with the two. One of them's a terrier woman, terrier man. The one on the right we're familiar with. I think it's just a local farmer. He likes to come out and watch the hunt. But we can keep going down. And 10, 15, 20 minutes ago. I don't think they want to chat, I think they want to go.
Oh, they're heading away.
Number plate on the one on the left, he'll be on the road, but his number plate's pretty covered up with mud. Again, quite a usual thing.
And he's 2 up, is that allowed on the road?
2 up's allowed, yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay, it's 3 up.
3 up is not allowed, yeah.
And last time Fabes and I were out, we saw them 3 up with no helmets on the road with a muddied over number plate.
The Cottesmore have claimed their quad bikes. They're actually that one there is out of MOT, but they've claimed it's on agricultural use, which is crossing the odd field here and there. It's not. We see it on roads regularly. But just very interesting. Again, you get close to these people, they either don't want to talk to you, or they just speed off like that. It's I'll just take this call. Hello. Okay.
Right, so for those of you who are not familiar, the 2 quad bikes have boxes on the back, and allegedly they have terriers in them, and the terriers are used if a fox goes to earth. So if a fox goes down into its own earth, or another fox's earth, or a badger set, then obviously it's a badger set, they're not allowed to interfere with that. But as you'll find out, I've got some stats coming up a bit later, enormous numbers of badger sets are interfered with. But then those guys are on hand to put the terriers down into the fox earth, or the badger set, to drive the fox back to the surface so it can continue to be pursued by the hounds. So the argument is pretty simple. If you're trail hunting, excuse Fabian coughing, I'll apologise on his behalf, otherwise his mum and dad will be really cross and tell him off later. So if they're walk and talking. If they're trail hunting, then why on earth would you need terriers? Because you're following a marked trail, you're not following a fox. You're never going to need to drive something from, security underground. Another absurd ruse, and in fact it's one that you can read about on the Cottesmore Hunt's website, is that they claim, and due to a loophole in the law, that birds of prey, right, just wait for this because this is a good one, right? Birds of prey, legally you're allowed to use a bird of prey to flush and then pursue and hunt a fox. So I've been out to hunts where they have said, that's not a terrier in that box on the back. And I've said, so what is it then? and they've said it's an eagle owl. And they claim that they're using the eagle owl to legally flush foxes and then hunt them. Right, at this point, Megs, I'm going to have to hand over to you because I can't think of,
It's going to make me giggle
Oh,
because it is honestly such a joke. Eagle owls. An owl, is it going to hunt such a large mammal in the daytime?
No.
And no, it's not going to do that. Of course it's not. Eagle, very large species of owl. Is it going to hunt a fox in woodland? Or, if it's been flushed out in the field, regardless, with loads of dogs running around, loads of horses, loads of people shouting, horns going off. They're very sensitive birds. That's not going to happen. Eagle owls, even without the commotion of the hunt, at that time of day in that sort of scenario, absolutely not. So, again, another loophole, another smoke screen, another fake excuse, which, to be honest, insults the intelligence of anybody else, because anybody who knows anything about wildlife would know that's not really quite feasible. So yes, very silly excuse for, again, more animal cruelty.
Put those thermals on the say. I've forgotten how much exercise this involves.
Before the election, but we're yet to see anything being put into place.
Well, look, the last I recall, there was a YouGov survey that said that 86% of the UK population wanted to see an end to fox hunting. If you're a government that is, having a bit of a tough time over, the financial affairs, property development, all sorts of things like that, you'd go for some good news, wouldn't you? And satisfy 86% of the population by banning fox hunting.
But that's also not including the percentage of the population which said, actually, I don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
And I bet if they did know enough about it, they'd be joining that 86%.
Yeah. I mean, I'd call that low-hanging fruit.
Easy win. Which they kind of need right now.
Yeah, I'd go for an easy win. There's all the issue over the water, companies, sewage bills. There's going to be arguments over housing. We know that. We know we need new houses. They've got to go in the right place and be the right sort of houses that are affordable, properly insulated, etc., etc.
Food prices, everything.
Yeah. Go for an easy win. Get the ban done. And so what we can do is say to people, write to your MP. Tell them to get that ban done.
Sign the petition, Protect the World website. Again, trying to get the government to move a bit faster into action. There's so much we can do. Support the Hunt Sabs. Come out if you can. Technically, you are virtually hunt sabbing by watching this live stream go out. So, if you can volunteer your time to the Hunt Sabs, do it. It's an amazing group. If not, you can financially support them. Donations for
Perfectly
kit.
legal, we should add.
Perfectly legal.
On the footpath. Not doing anything wrong.
Yep.
Taxed MOT vehicles.
Which is more than some of the hunt vehicles.
Yeah.
And just share, talk to people about the Hunt Sabs, about fox hunting, about mailing your MP or your SMP, wherever you live.
Right, I'm going to leave all the rest of the talking on the way up the hill to you, Beast.
I don't think that's very fair.
It is.
Oh dear. Chris has clocked out, you can't hack the hill.
I was an
To be honest.
in my youth, I was an athlete.
No, you weren't.
I was.
You were not.
I was.
I'm sorry, are we in some sort of pantomime?
No, it's not a pantomime, it's the truth.
No, I meant that I was. No, you weren't. Anyway, he didn't get it.
Oh, sorry.
He didn't get. He hasn't been to enough pantomimes, clearly. What sort of athlete were you? Out of curiosity.
Sprinter. Did cross country to stay fit. But I had a Hampshire record for the 200 metres for some considerable time.
No, you didn't. No, you did. You? This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Lots of certificates, medals. All true.
Did you buy them off eBay?
Yeah. Yeah, like those people that buy those made-up university things.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen you run.
I remember racing you when I was a kid.
Yeah. I probably won that. We're getting a bit off topic now. Because we're both quite out of breath. Just running back to the car as quickly as we can. They've gone quite far, I think.
Yeah.
They've gone to an adjacent farm. Also, the other Hunt Sab group, which have caught up with them, have said. Fabian, how's the cough? How are you feeling?
With the test? Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, it's still there, right.
Can we get an infill update from Luke? Come on,
Yeah,
guys, let's jog.
Jog! Come on. Come on. He's on the phone. We're running. Oh, Luke, what's going on?
Yeah, sounds like the hounds are back towards Mount Pleasant Farm, so all the way back over there towards the meet.
Right.
There's a dismantled railway there as well, which is another likely area for foxes. Phone's ringing again. Let's see.
What's going on?
Turn back again. Yeah, well that's back towards us.
Oh.
It just doesn't want us to get out of this field, does it? So you're saying it's back towards Cottesmore?
We gotta go back down there.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, okay. Well,
very
we won't
common.
go too far back because we're quite close to the road if we do need to go round, but we will hang it out here for a little bit. Yep.
Once they're on the scent, they'll keep on going.
They'll keep going.
Yeah, keep looking relentlessly. Oh, look, he spilt his heel.
Oh no.
You've been prone to. Yeah. The dog was fall, man.
Oh no. Right, so we're going to wait here for a little bit to see which direction the hunt goes in, because they've gone down to Mount Pleasant Farm, done a U-turn and are heading up in our direction. So as we were legging it for the car to meet them, they're coming back round to meet us. Which is,
Don't do those ones yet.
which one are you wanting to do?
Well, I'm not obviously going to do
Which
that.
graphic?
No,
Oh.
because I was going to talk about those when we meet up with the rest of our colleagues from the Hunt Sabs.
Sponsored by Strepsils, if you can hear Fabian coughing in the background. Are you okay? Do you need a water or anything? Anyone got any? I'll hold the camera. Chris, you can take that.
Okay.
Oh, are you sure? He doesn't trust my camera work.
Yeah, okay.
Rightly so.
Right. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a hiatus here. Fabian coughing, getting replenished with some water. Triple Strepsil moment.
It was a protein shake.
Protein shake.
of course.
Okay, yeah. Right, so one of the things that we have seen today, as we've been panting in the mist, which is not a euphemism for anything else, I hope, is that...
I don't think anyone was thinking it was.
I don't know, it's just... Anyway, was a hare, in fact, two hares being chased by the hounds. And so here's another one of my little graphics, which I've got from the excellent Protect the Wild report. This is the data for the 22-23 season. 169 non-quarry incidents. Non-quarry meaning this is wildlife which isn't a fox. And the majority of those are related to badger set interference. So I'll just turn over and show you another one of these graphics. This one's particularly unpleasant, really. 88 different deer were chased, and 21 were killed by hunts during the 22-23 season. And of course, these were those that were observed by the hunt monitors and the Hunt Sabs. So when it goes on to the badger set, I've got another graphic. Sorry, folks. There you go. I love my graphics.
I'll hold the mic away.
61 different hunts had at least one report of set interference made against them. So that was about 150 hunts. 61% of those had reports of set interference. So this is badger sets that were being harmed. And here we are. I've got a few individual accounts here. Somerset Sabs found 2 men digging a badger set out during a meet of the Western and Banwell Harriers at Overstowie on the 3rd of September 22. West Kent Hunt Sabs captured on film at least 3 men digging out a badger set at the meet of the East Kent and West Street Hunt in Etching Hill the 19th of November 2022. Cirencester Illegal Hunt Watch found 2 men digging out a badger set during a meet of the Cotswold Hunt near Calmsden on the 4th of January 23. And lastly, 3 counties hunt saboteurs found 2 men associated with the Crewman West Warwickshire Hunt digging out a land drain near Abbots Salford on the 16th of February 2023. So, these are badger sets which are being harmed. Badgers, obviously, as you know, are a protected species in the UK, and so therefore any interference with the set is technically illegal, but it's very frequent when it comes to fox hunting.
And the list goes on. Again, tip of the iceberg. This is only what's been observed, what's been reported, and what's potentially been acted upon by the police, but that doesn't happen anywhere near as often as we'd like, simply because it's really hard to get the evidence, the right evidence that the police need to make proper cases. But there are some good court cases that do come through. We just need them to match the amount of illegal activity that happens.
But quite a few people associated with hunts have also been convicted in recent times of badger baiting, and badger baiting is altogether different. Badger baiting is where people dig the set and remove the badgers alive, and then set them to fight with dogs. It's inconceivably cruel, and I mean, it's the sort of thing that people were doing in the Middle Ages, not the 21st century, but sadly it continues, and there have been members of several hunts prosecuted, found guilty of badger baiting in recent years. So when it comes to their outlook, when it comes to wild animal welfare, I mean, it's just deplorable, absolutely deplorable.
Wildlife crime tends to be linked in one way, shape or form. If you're found doing guilty of one, chances are you've got links or knowledge or some sort of connection to another form. Yeah, it's a network, isn't it? Really.
Bird of prey cruelty in Scotland, wasn't it? One of the hunt members was convicted for keeping birds of prey in appalling conditions. Mm-hmm. So
head back to the car.
Back to the vehicle. Good. Get Fabian a drink and another vat. Another bucket of strepsils.
That will last him 5 minutes. Right.
But again, I suppose one thing we can say from this shows how difficult it is to get evidence.
Really hard.
I mean, I hate to say it, we haven't seen those people now for 20 minutes?
No.
And they could have found, hunted and killed a fox in that time. And sadly, we wouldn't have known, will we? Unless
we
those other colleagues of our hunt sab companions here have spotted it.
I think they are a bit closer, so they're kind of keeping an eye on them. Right. But even then, it's really hard to get up close to it. Obviously, you can't keep up with people on horseback. It's really hard. They can get over hedges, through ditches, which we couldn't and we wouldn't want to trespass.
We're restricted to the footpaths.
Yeah. Whereas often fox hunts trespass a lot of land where they are unwanted.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. So they're not allowed any longer to hunt on National Trust land, but they've been caught on National Trust land. What about in the West Country? They kept going on to nature reserves. They
went through a cattery. Do you remember? A few years ago, a fox hunt went through a cattery in Sussex, a place that was rehabilitating lots of domestic cats, trying to rehome them for homes and things for people's pets. The hounds went through, killed all the cats. Quite a lot of them. Caused a lot of issues.
Some disappeared and were never found.
Thing is, you can't control the hounds all the time. When they get the scent of something and they get excitable, it's not their fault, it's their instinct, and that's what they've been trained to do. So lots of instances like that.
Welcome sight of the vehicle. Unfortunately, a bit of fly tipping here. Feel sorry for the farmer.
Bit of car.
Probably going to have to come out and pick this up. Look, someone smashed up the car.
An old Ford.
Oh look, they did.
But they didn't take the rubbish away when it was cleared out.
Oh, right.
But fly tipping over here, look.
Yeah, fly tipping in the countryside, a huge issue.
Another car and a hedge.
It's just Britain.
Let's go.
This is not, it's not just fox hunting. If you're in the rural community, if you're just a decent farmer, right, or someone just living in the countryside, right, trying to make a living, trying to keep it up together, this is what you're up against.
Fly tipping, cars in your hedge. You're trying to make a good hedge perhaps for wildlife. You might be one of the good farmers trying to do that.
Look, gatepost broken down, farmer's got to fix that. Oh,
Yeah.
not easy, is it?
Right, in the car. I think we're heading off.
What's the plan?
I think we're
We'll head round to sort of Mount Pleasant where they were last.
head round to Mount Pleasant.
It's not what I wanted to hear. I thought it was like time to get to, you know,
Hot chocolate, so
get
Come
a
on,
vegan.
Chris. What's happened to you?
Vegan hot chocolate.
What's happened to you, Chris? You got to earn your vegan hot chocolate.
Watch your feet. There we go.
That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it?
Right.
The cameraman needs some water.
If there is some water, yeah, thank you.
Go on, mate.
Do you want to?
There you go. Yeah, I've got the camera. Oh. Right.
But,
There we are.
okay, right. We've got a quad head into Buckminster Lodge vehicle. Drive with the map. Okay. Buckminster Lodge.
Conditions
Okay, so that would be best us going on that Suiston road then,
are
wouldn't
really,
it?
really bad visibility.
Like 3,000.
I mean,
Okay,
you came out,
all right.
you hunted the day of Storm Down.
Well, we'll okay.
And they
No worries.
continued.
Right, we're there in 2 or 3 minutes. Alright, mate, bye. Bye.
Have they got sight of them at all?
They've definitely got sight of terrier men up there, which, as we saw back there, are often in and around the area of where the hounds are.
So will that be the same people that we saw on the quads?
Yeah. Would be. So you're gonna keep left drive. Yeah. But this fog's not helping us, is it?
No, it's really hard in these conditions.
It is. We've got to rely on hearing him as well as without being able to see him very well, you know.
Rely on your senses a bit. I guess you've been doing it for such a long time that intuition comes a bit of part of that.
Yeah, and also the known areas of where he's likely to go, stroke not go. You do build up that familiarity that I was saying about earlier.
You know the roads pretty well.
Yeah, left here.
It is quite hard keeping on top of them, keeping up that pace as well, because you're never going to be as fast as they are.
You can't. Yeah, it's almost impossible to run with the hounds when they're speaking or in cry on a line. You've got to try and think tactically, try and get in front of them, and to cut them off, as well as keeping them tracking them in the field. But like today, it seems that we're going to need that second team in the field, keeping behind them as much as possible to give us that direction.
Sure.
I was hoping it might have lifted, but it doesn't look like it.
No, sun hasn't burnt it through, is it, at all?
Don't think it's going to, is it?
No, I don't think there's any sun today, unfortunately. Hopefully, because it's harder conditions for us, you kind of hope that's harder conditions for them as well, to some degree.
Well, of course, the hounds hunt on scent,
Yeah.
so it's all sort of determined to scent conditioning, and it's very still day, so we haven't got wind blowing it around.
True.
You've got, with the fog, you've got moisture in the air, so the scent can cling to that somewhat. But yeah, of course, the weather does affect them as well. But as I said earlier this morning, with the recent storm that we had, the Cottesmore was still out hunting, even in that. So even if they've got very, very slim chance, they'll still go out and give it a try. It's just
Dedicated.
shouts desperation, doesn't it? Desperation.
Yeah.
To find chase and in their heads is hopefully kill a fox.
How much of it do you think is that drive, and how much of it is like a stubbornness of no, this is our right, we want to continue, even the more you tell us no, the more we want to do it? Do you think there's like an element of that? There is as well,
and I think that is a good point that you make, because there's especially that between us and the Cottesmore, because of the we've been very vocal publicly in our commitment to actually shut this hunt. We're not just looking to turn up sabbing. We're looking to really shut this hunt down for their immoral. Till this hunt are finished.
Yeah, but you're stubborn to protect animal rights and human rights.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
you know, so that's a very different thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it's a battle, you know. These guys are dedicated to going out hunting foxes 3 times a week, so we're dedicated to trying to match that best we can.
Well, the only way you're going to beat stubborn, outdated animal cruelty is with stubborn animal rights protection.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that can only be a good thing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, I think like today with this display, there's no we're going to pack up and go. They're sticking to it. They're going to keep going.
And you often think as well with kind of hunts like these that it's going to be perhaps the older generation that perhaps most partakes in it. You often think, because it's such a outdated tradition, it's going to be the older generation keeping hold of it. But actually, it's quite a lot of young people on horseback today. Yeah,
they have children's meets, meets specifically designed to.
Oh, there's a child on a horse.
There we go.
Yeah, so, they were at the meet earlier. We did see this child at the horse.
And this is trying to brainwash them and get them participating in this illegal and immoral act from a very early age.
I mean, that kid's got to be about 4 or 5.
Yeah. But they do, like I say, all hunts do it. They have dedicated children's meets to encourage the next generation. But generally, it's of an older generation. And it's disgraceful. Some could argue it is a form of child abuse, putting kids in this environment.
Yeah, I mean, if it was me, I'd never bring my child to.
Of course, yeah.
It's not that I have any children.
Yeah.
Or any particular desire to have them, but. But it's just not the natural place. And here's all the horse boxes.
Yeah, these would have they've obviously parked up here and hacked up to the meet this morning. I think straight on the canal. That would marriage finish a particular favourite.
Right.
The last sighting we had was Buckminster Lodge. Terrier men anyway.
Yeah. Bonkers.
There's a hunt support there.
He's not giving us much of the road, was he?
No, lucky to get that. Their use of roads as well. Talk about specifically the Cottesmore. their organisation.
Where's the other sub group?
Should we have a chat with them and see?
Let's have a chat and see what they've seen.
We were mindful that he might have crossed the road and gone over there, but at the moment I'm not sure whether he's gone towards Thurston or whether he has crossed the road. The terriermen certainly went up here on
Right.
the quads.
Just waiting until we hear something. Is that the idea now?
Well, unfortunately, yeah, on a normal day in clear conditions, you'd have a pair of binoculars out and you'd probably find them much quicker, but we were going to rely on the sound of the hounds. But yeah, they did go into cry.
We've got a bit of a hiatus. Let's talk about some hunt violence.
Oh.
So again, in the report that was put together by Protect the Wild, there were 211 individual instances of hunt violence perpetrated, and that included 198 minor attacks and 13 major attacks. And this is violence obviously towards the hunt monitors and the hunt saboteurs. So this is not wildlife violence, this is violence towards individuals. So that's 211 incidences in one season, one sort of 6-month period. And then there's some individual figures here. I won't run through them all. Blackmore and Spartford Vale, 11 minor attacks. The Cottesmore Hunt, that's the hunt that we're on at the moment, 11 minor attacks. South Dorset, 11 as well. And then Mendip Farmers, that was the one that Fabian and I were out with in March of this year. That was 6 minor attacks. But I just want to draw your attention to this one. 2 of the most high-profile major attacks. Hold on, I'm just going to see what.
Wait a minute. It's going to wait. I have to move a car. Let the hunt supporters go through. Unfortunately.
Right, okay, let's get back to the violence here. 2 of the most high-profile major attacks both occurred in conjunction with the same hunt. The Cottesmore Hunt, where we are this morning. The first happened on the 25th of October 2022 when a follower of the hunt was intentionally hit a sab with her car before speeding off. Angela Jarram, who drove the car, pled guilty to actual bodily harm in June 2023 and was handed a suspended sentence and community service.
Imagine if you did that in a city. If you hit someone intentionally with your car in a city, you get a bit of a higher fine than that, wouldn't you?
I saw it. I mean, I witnessed it. I wasn't there. I saw it immediately that evening, and I just sort of thought,
the video.
Well, I mean, I don't know anything about the law. Let's be really clear, But
yeah, we're not lawyers.
But I mean, you're driving into someone with a car. Car's a very formidable weapon. I mean, that's almost like attempted murder, isn't it?
That's bad. That is incredibly bad.
Well, thankfully, the lady that was hit by the car is here.
She's okay.
And that's remarkable in itself. So you took the beating in the car and you're still sabbing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us a bit about what happened on that occasion then.
So it was right at the beginning of it actually. So we started running up a lane which we didn't realise was private property, but the hunt were in front of us, the dogs were on a scent. And I looked behind me and I could see there was a car some way off. But you always kind of keep an eye on it because we know what they're like. Carried on going up the lane, looked back again, and the car had moved closer to us. And the last thing I remember, I looked behind me, and the car was 2 metres behind me. And like they say, everything went slowly, really, really slowly. And I'm thinking, no, it's not meant to be like this. This was meant, I literally thought that was it. I'm a goner. The next thing I knew, I was on the floor. So I don't remember any of it, none of it at all. And then went into shock and then had such anger and then the tears and everything. I think I was more upset that she didn't stop. She
drove on?
She just drove on and she hid her vehicle.
And hid the vehicle?
Yeah. And then the police told me that they'd found the vehicle and it had bodywork damage, which really
caused by hitting you?
Yeah.
That's huge. That's
and what in terms of your injuries? I mean, you were in the hospital, I take it?
Yeah, they took me straight to hospital. They scanned my shoulder and my leg, I think, and I had an MRI, which I don't remember any of. And then probably about a week later, lower back pain was immense, and I had bruising all around me. And you could see on the bruising, it was almost like the imprint of part of a car. I don't know what part of the car hit me, but you could see the picture on me. And then the back pain, I still have it now, lower back pain, and I've got fragments of a disc that are sticking out onto the root of a nerve, so it can get quite painful.
Yeah. Incredibly painful, I think.
Yeah,
you know,
it
that's,
can,
and the psychological trauma of that happening as well, especially because it was a card that kind of snuck up on you, knew what they were doing. That's like very much intent to do harm.
Oh, absolutely. And the police initially were going to do wounding with intent, which is like one step down from murder, and then it got lowered to GBH, and then it got lowered again to ABH, which is just, it's a nothing, absolutely nothing. I didn't get to see her in court because I heard that it was just going to be the charge read out, so I didn't go. I had a phone call the next day to say that it was the whole thing, so I didn't even get to kind of have closure in that way. I wanted her to see me as a person, and I wanted to see her because I thought that might help me in some way.
Well, confront her, I guess. Well, not confront,
Yeah,
not verbally
just-
or look, but just to be able to look at her and have that confidence to
Yeah, absolutely.
stand as a human being.
Yeah.
You might have very different views on things, but you're both human.
Exactly. And would she feel like, would she see me as more of a human being if she saw me in person, you know? I wanted to know if she was apologetic. I didn't get to hear like her side of it. Because her barrister would have said, you know, mitigating factors and stuff like that. I didn't get to hear any of that. So that was tough, not going to that.
We've long held the opinion that, you know, particularly the Cottesmore here, where there's been excessive violence, they've basically brought people in to intimidate you. We saw it last year when they had a gang of people who were, you know, again assaulting yourselves. I know that I understand that they've obviously been prosecuted in the subsequent period as well. But I mean, when we have people driving at, you know, pedestrians, using a vehicle as a weapon, it's only a matter of time before something goes very seriously wrong. I mean, I mean, it's so good. I mean, you got off lightly and luckily, didn't you?
Absolutely, yeah. There was one point where I was lying on the floor, and all I could think of was the two guys that got killed years ago. It was in the 90s.
In the 90s, yeah.
Yeah, and I was thinking I could have been the third. It just kept going round in my head. I could have been the third.
What's it going to take to stop this? It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've seen the police are helping a bit more now, which is great. But the government, like, where are they? They made these promises. Like, why haven't they done it?
So when you look at, we've got a couple of riders coming along here now, and when you're looking at those riders, and you know, how does that make you feel? Because it's carrying on. You know, you've given everything, and you've been run over in the cause of trying to protect wildlife, and yet these people just carry on.
Absolutely. I mean, I find it hard sometimes. I look at some of them; they're young girls, and I think maybe they don't know. You know, maybe they are that that naive. That they can't be. They can't be. This, you know, they see the foxes. They hear the support. The support are quite vile when they're all cheering it on. It's rose-tinted glasses to think that they're not aware of what's happening.
Okay, well, there was one other incident here at Cottesmore. 11th of February 2023, the huntsman Sam Jones jumped his horse over a fence into a sab.
Yeah.
Magistrates found Jones not guilty of grievous bodily harm in November. Again, I saw I think the footage of that online that night as soon as you guys posted it. On this instant, it appeared to me that, you know, the huntsman was using his horse as a weapon. He jumped into that sab.
Yep, absolutely.
Imagine
that
a
was
horse.
arrogance.
I mean, the cars, horses.
I know,
Huge animals. I mean,
yeah.
the fact that, you know, you're okay and that person, it's huge.
It's
so lucky, but that should never get to that in the first place.
No. And that is it. It's luck. It is just pure luck that nothing more serious has happened.
Yeah. And there's a man who did jump with the horse is here today, isn't he? Sam?
Yes, he is.
Yes. Yeah. So we saw him today riding out, and he's the same man that used his horse to jump at a sab.
Yeah. Just absolute arrogance. That she was somewhere that he wanted to be. So he went for it. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, he's with the red coat today.
Yeah.
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 So we've seen him a few times, and he's still out here doing it. How long was it before you got straight back out sabbing again?
So it happened. Was it October the 25th? I was sabbing, I think, in the December.
That says a lot. That's amazing.
I just want to say thank you very much,
Yeah.
and we admire your tenacity, your
Bless you.
bravery, and your commitment to put an end to this nasty habit.
Thank you.
Just look after yourself.
Yeah, thank you.
And we've had a really quiet day.
I know, it's so disappointing. We wanted
I didn't want to be run over.
Yeah, we didn't want to see any foxes go out. But yeah,
it's
but
really disappointing.
Why do you think today it's been so peaceful? Because normally they're up to all sorts of stunts.
Exactly. Like Boxing Day, they didn't go hunting either, which is really weird. Who knows what will happen on New Year's Eve? But Tuesdays seems to be getting bigger, and Saturdays are getting smaller. But this is pathetic today.
Yeah.
Really pathetic.
Right. Well, that's good though. No, foxes are safe.
Oh no, absolutely,
Foxes are safe. That's what we want.
they're taking a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
it's
want
just
it
a shame
quiet
you didn't
again.
get to see how they usually
Well,
do behave.
last time Fabian and I were out, we got an enormous amount of verbal abuse.
Yeah, I saw
blocking
that.
us in. No, actually direct physical violence
Oh,
to
really?
myself and him. Well, no physical contact.
Yeah.
Lots of threats, intimidation, so on and so forth. That was at the Mendip Farms.
Yeah.
But the Cottesmore, there's been some nasty incidents here.
Oh, huge. Yeah, awful. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens when the guy that's gone AWOL, when he's actually caught up with. It'd be interesting to see what the sentencing is with that one.
Yeah, so he was someone who was potentially hired by the hunt to
Oh, he
cause.
was. I mean, he admitted
Yeah,
it.
he admitted it.
Yeah.
Okay, hired by the hunt to cause trouble, to stop you
Yeah.
from doing what you do, protecting wildlife.
Exactly.
Very threatening.
Yeah.
And he hasn't turned up for court,
No.
and so he is currently got a
on the
warrant
run,
after
basically.
his
Yeah.
arrest right now.
Yeah. I mean, he was driving. They were driving
Certainly
the
into
Hunt's
Crime
vehicle.
Watch, isn't it?
It's Crime Watch.
If you've seen this man.
Yeah.
If you've seen this man, this is what he looks like.
You should have a picture of
He
him.
has an orange
Give
puffer
me his
jacket.
pretzels.
Identify and report to police immediately. All I can say is thank you very much for talking to us.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank
thank
And,
you.
in the words of Crime Watch, don't have nightmares. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no,
Amazing
it's
work.
great.
Okay, what's
Right, should we catch up? See what's going on.
We can walk through.
Okay.
Oh, right, I've got 60 minutes
So,
left.
for those of us who have just joined us, we're with the Cottesmore Hunt. They set off at 11:20 on the dot this morning. We've been following them as they go about their trail hunting, which is, of course, a smokescreen for illegal fox hunting. It's been going on since the 1600s. It's one of the most brutal, outdated practices of animal cruelty that's left in the UK. And it goes on. Over 15,000 fox hunts go out every single year in the space of just about 6 months in a season, which is a lot more than I thought.
And when we came out this morning, they went straight out into a small copse, which was thick with brambles up to thigh high, waist high. No one could have laid a trail through there, and they immediately took their dogs out, trying to pick up the scent of a fox. And
That's one of the hunt supporters. It was just for the...
we're here with the Northants Hunt Saboteurs. We've been working with them, and also, of course, with the Hunt Saboteurs themselves. And we've also been giving you some data from this, which is a Protect the Wild report, which took all of the Hunt Saboteurs data for 2022-23. It was published in February of this year, and it's got some alarming statistics in it, which we've been putting out. If you haven't seen them at the start of our broadcast, I'll run over a few again now. 46% of registered trail hunts were caught chasing or killing foxes in 22-23.
Tip of the iceberg.
Tip of the iceberg. And then some of the top line stuff.
Update from Luke.
Got an update?
Oh yeah, Luke.
The other team saying that he's sounds like hounds are in cry coming towards us, so we'll
Okay,
probably not in a bad spot here.
Okay, great.
So we're going to hang here for the
Decent
moment.
bit of visual.
Okay, so if we go back to those top line stats.
Go for it.
I love top line stats, don't I?
Go
Okay,
on.
so as you've already mentioned, during the course of that season, 15,180 hunts went out. Staggering.
I thought it was going to be a lot less than that.
I asked you last night. You said, what did you say?
I said about 400.
400.
How wrong I was. And I thought that was a lot.
And people think that fox hunting's finished. 15,000 times a year. I mean, that's more than probably Premiership footballers get paid a second. And certainly Premiership games in a season. I don't know, I'm not drawing a good analogy.
Please stop talking about football.
I don't know, I was going to draw... Anyway, look, 46% of registered trail hunts were caught, I've already mentioned that, chasing, killing foxes. 92 different deer were chased, 24 of those were killed. 211 instances of hunts violence were perpetrated, that's against hunt monitors and Sabs. 198 minor attacks and 13 major attacks. There were 599 reported traffic offences, trespasses, road havoc, that's when the hounds get on the road or the vehicles block the road and
nightmare.
horses get onto the road. There were 169 non-quarry incidents. Non-quarry incidents is where the hounds pick up on an animal which is not a fox. A lot of those related to badger set interference, so this is badger sets being dug. And then
We can hear them, we've got the hounds.
update, okay.
You can't see them, but can hear them. What are you hearing? Are you hearing the horn or the hounds?
Hounds.
The hounds. We do care about your stats, Chris. We're having a short hiatus from the stats.
I was like in full stats.
We wouldn't want to miss anything that goes on over there.
Now we're going to have to come back all humble to get more stats.
We'll come back.
No, I'm not giving you any more stats now. No, I'm statted out. I'm going over here on a stats.
He does this every time. He goes off skulking. Christopher, you can't do this now. We're very busy. Got to keep an eye on this hunt.
My own stats.
You can have your stats.
I've got my own stats.
All right, you keep your stats.
I am going to keep my stats.
You keep your stats.
343 police vehicles attended hunting activities in the 22-23 season. 343. It's really difficult to work out the cost of policing hunts because very often those in attendance are doing it as part of their routine duties. But when Hunt Sabs are put in freedom of information requests for particular things like Boxing Day events and so on and so forth, they find that local police forces are sometimes spending nearly £20,000.
There's a rider coming up.
£20,000 of public taxpayers' money.
We're talking stats and then we'll go.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm statted out.
I see a bobbing hat.
Can we walk a bit or not?
We can walk a little bit. See what's going on. Oh. They seem to have split up a little bit because we had a couple riders come by earlier on, didn't we?
Yeah.
So the day riders, as they're called, which kind of pay a fee to go out occasionally, a few Saturdays or Tuesdays or whatever. They do the ladies' days, children's days. They seem to have split up.
Yeah, some riders don't participate in the full day and end up just doing an hour or two. And
right.
Up.
So they go home.
What's happening here?
Heading off early.
I think that's what happened with the other two. Yeah.
Well, we've got the horse bobbing a bit.
Yeah,
I'm going to step back for the horse.
There we are. So, heading off early.
Morning. Afternoon even. Good night even. Okay.
Well, I was going to make a football analogy there.
I'm pleased you didn't.
I was going to be rude about a Premiership team supporters heading off early when the team are losing 3-0. And then, if you'll remember, that team then scored 3 goals in the latter few minutes of the game.
Well, we don't want that.
No, well, hold on, but no, we don't want that.
We don't.
But what I'm saying is the fans...
Stop with that first bit of that analogy.
Yeah, I haven't...
I knew where you were going. Just stop with the first bit. We don't want them getting 3 more goals.
No.
Enough goals for the fox hunts, please.
But I mean, if they're leaving early like that, and there were only a handful of them to start with, I mean, things are disintegrating, aren't they? You know?
We've seen 3 head back. 2 went off.
And they were heading
20
back
minutes
to those
ago.
horse boxes.
They were heading back to horse boxes. We've just got 1 left. So they started off with 14, which means their maximum are 11 now.
11, yeah.
It's not many. I mean, there used to be 10s, 60, 70 people go out.
There was like, when that time we went out on
Oh, God, loads of them.
there was, at least 40, 50?
But that wasn't really even that long ago.
No, that wasn't long ago.
I mean, it was
when I first
pre-COVID,
started going out, there were at that hunt, in certain times, I remember the whole of that area in Fritham was covered in riders, So,
horrible
definitely.
thing to see.
Definitely. Okay.
An update coming in.
We're going to head up to the live chat. Might find some questions.
Well, live chat. If you've got any questions, you can pop them in the live chat if you'd like. We've just got a hiatus so we can monitor some questions. So if you've got any questions for Chris or myself about Cottesmore Hunt, fox hunting in general,
We're going to head up towards Surston. There's a sighting of
we will answer your questions from the car.
Lovely.
So you have a few minutes to send them in.
Yeah, we've got one more that we'll have to catch up.
Yeah, she's coming round. Oh.
She gets to the back.
We'll put her in the...
Yeah.
Right, the questions then.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'll ask you, and then because I've told you all the stats.
You have told me all the stats. I know.
There we are.
This takes me back.
Someone has pointed out here that the Labour Party could ban terrier work with the stroke of a pen, doesn't need a vote. The Home Secretary can do that quite easily. I believe that is the case. Someone has asked, do they have drones they can use? I presume they're asking, about the Hunt Sabs using the drones. And you do use them occasionally, don't you?
Yeah, we do have a, if you just want to hop in the back, we do have a drone. We don't have it out today. Given these conditions, you're going to struggle. But we do have a drone, and a lot of groups do use drones and have captured some really fantastic footage on drones as well.
Some this year, actually.
Was it the Western and Banwell? Was it? Yeah, where they chased that fox during the cub hunting season. Yeah.
We posted that actually as part of our top 20 fox hunting crimes, and that was some of the drone work. Yeah, but I suppose one of the answers is drones cost money, and any donations that you could kindly make to the hunt saboteurs would be most welcome, and equipment is always at a premium, so that would be good. Someone's asking me to recap the stats.
The stats?
And then someone else has said, would you please go through your stats again? I'm honestly interested in those stats. And then someone has put in here, does Megan get a carer's allowance for looking after Chris?
Thank you!
No, that's good for you, right?
Yes, exactly, thank you. That's why I said thank you.
Said F you.
We got a rider there.
We've got a rider
One or two maybe
here. Someone else coming back.
Maybe two riders. Sorry, one rider.
Someone heading home again.
So that's down to 10 then.
It'd be maximum 10 then. We've seen 4 go home.
Yeah, there's a few hunt supporters up here you'll see.
Yeah, a few cars.
Let's see what's going on. Yeah, there are a few people up here. Okay, I'm looking for questions. People are putting very kind comments in. Someone has said here, love the stats. Thank you very much.
I think Chris is just reading out the comments that are giving him a lot of love for his stats. I feel like there's a bias here. I mean, I love the stats, don't get me wrong.
We've got a lot of hunt supporters here lined up on the road,
we should
you can see.
Pop out here and have a look, see what's going on.
Yeah.
Should we head out?
Yeah, I guess we could have a little walk and a listen and see. Again, with the visibility being so poor, we've got to use our ears as well,
Yeah.
We could hop out anywhere and have a little walk along.
If they're waiting here, they're waiting for something.
Yeah.
If they know something we don't.
Have a little...
Hang on. Let me pull over.
There's a lot of cars actually, more cars than I thought there'd be.
Yeah, there is, yeah. Didn't see them all at the meet.
No, a lot of people kind of waiting around to see what happens. We didn't see these cars earlier on. There's quite a few people here.
Well, this hedgerow's not quite as good as the one we saw earlier, is it?
It's been a bit cut.
This one's been a bit thrashed. Never mind. We reported on one good hedgerow. So, right, yeah, what we've got here then are the hunt followers. There's a whole load of vehicles you'll see.
Classic sort of image there. Hunt followers coming out with a sandwich as well to see, hoping to see the chase and killing of a fox.
Why do we were asking your colleague, why do we think that there's not the usual attendees today who sometimes give you so much trouble?
Hard to say. Perhaps they're recovering from all the Christmas dinners. I don't know, but like I said, they have been here the last few weeks on a Saturday. So, strange. I'm not sure. Or maybe they just sacked them because they're really, really bad at trying to follow us and all the rest of it.
How many people do you estimate are with the hunt followers here? I'm seeing there's 2 of our vehicles, aren't there?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 other vehicles, not including
Another horse cart coming through.
Vehicles, maybe that looks like someone going home.
With a child in the front seat as well, just literally a toddler.
Surprising then there's not more of it, basically.
There used to be a lot more at the Cottesmore, but I think they got a bit annoyed with us being here every single week, and perhaps they're deciding to go to other hunts that don't have the sab attention, and
because that's another thing we ought to say. It's not like football teams. You can play away for another team, can't you? So you can, as a hunt, if you're into hunting, you don't have to hunt with the same hunt all the time. You can go. If you've got your horse box, you can go to another part of the country, pay your day fee, and join in with another hunt.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and round here we've got the beaver hunt, who are their territories just to the north of us. We're on a bit of a border really with the beaver. You'd have the corn to the west of us, the Fernie to the south. So in Leicestershire, which is what I consider the hotbed of fox hunting, really, it's the home of the fox, isn't it? So but the Cottesmore are the ones who get most attention from us, of course. So
so might it be that today are any of those other hunts out today?
They will be, yeah, they will.
So
be.
it could be that some of the riders that are typically attending here might have gone as an away day to join them.
Yeah, there's that, but like I said, also there's been a huge drop off of numbers, whether it be foot followers, supporters, car supporters, or riders that attend the Cottesmore these days because they don't like the anti-attention. And if they can go to another hunt where there isn't the antis, then they'd rather do that.
Okay, just have a little listen.
Then the phone rings. Right. Yeah, we're not far from that. We can't hear anything at the minute. I heard some. Okay, well, actually, one of us did hear something. We can see into sort of 2 fields maximum. Very, very difficult. So is it back towards that track then? Maybe we could move down a little bit more and try and have a listen in a minute. Heading towards the drift perhaps, yeah, okay, towards the drift road. Okay, we could try and have a listen there. Just on one, so I don't think second horses will be just yet. But is that you in the vehicle? Or?
Beast, I've just had a message come through on my phone from someone who's listening to the stream saying, have you got any more stats? So if you take the mic, I'll just get my little pack out.
Do you not remember them by now? 46% of hunts, were noted chasing, killing a fox. 15,150 hunts go out every single year. Last year, between the 20
some fresh stats that we haven't done.
I'd have thought you'd have memorised that off by heart by now.
I was going to do that. But
599 traffic.
Janice on Facebook.
Janice.
How come this is happening? Isn't it illegal now?
Right.
It's a reminder.
Yes, it's a very good question. Right. So how come this is happening? How come we're having to go out, or the Hunt Sabs are having to go out every single week to monitor, get information about fox hunting? Isn't it illegal? Well, in 2004, the Hunting Act came into play, which basically outlawed fox hunting. Outlawed. It should have been gone. It should have been goodbye, see you later, never again. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. What's happening today, what we're seeing, is something called trail hunting. Now, trail hunting is a smokescreen for illegal fox hunting. What hunts should be doing, if they were abiding by the law, is going out and laying a fake scent, but a fox scent of fox urine that could be imported from Canada, or so the hunt says, although that's kind of questioned. They should be going out early in the morning, laying a trail for the hounds to follow. So it should really be no impact to actual wild living foxes whatsoever. However, of course, as you know, once the hounds are out and they get the scent of a real fox that's been there just hours, half an hour, minutes before, they're going to get much more excited about the real fox scent and chase that scent instead, which is why actually trail hunting is a smokescreen. They don't lay the trails. They don't lay the trails. They didn't lay a trail. They didn't lay a trail this morning.
That's
what they should be doing.
I'll eat my poodles. I mean, and I'm a vegan.
And you love your poodles.
I love my poodles.
Don't eat. I'll save them. Sid and Nance, I'll save you.
When me and Fabes went out with the Mendip
there's
last
no
time,
way.
there was no trail.
There's no way they do that. They're meant to go, around and lay that scent, but they don't do that. Where we saw the hounds going this morning was in such thick brambles up to your thighs. There is no way that someone got up at 5 a.m. in the dark to run around in brambles to lay a scent trail for that hunt. There's no way anyone would have done that. It's absolute madness. And then you have the other form of hunting, which is drag hunting, which is better. That's laying an artificial scent, something like aniseed, something very different from an animal scent, which trail hunting uses. Or clean boot.
Follow a human scent.
Follow a human scent. Again,
in the New Forest now.
Yeah, a better form of hunting. If you're going to do it, it's still annoying, but it's much better doing that.
You know.
Oh my goodness, what have we got? Oh, sandwiches. Thank you very much. There we go.
Sandwich, brown
Thank
bread.
you. Lovely. That'll keep us going.
Thank you very much. Look at that. That's lovely. But we'll eat some of those in a moment then. Okay,
so clean boot, drag hunting better.
I think Janice's question though is very pertinent because firstly a lot of people don't realise that this is going on to the extent that it is.
No.
Right, that's the first thing. Then they don't realise to what extent that it's illegal, and it is, as the stats have all shown this morning. And thirdly, the fact that everyone thinks that it was made illegal, way back in the 2004 when that law was put into place, but it has continued ever since. That's the point.
Yeah, every year on social media, videos come out from the hunt saboteurs around the country, hunt monitors, where we see that all the time. We see foxes being chased in the countryside, ripped up, torn to pieces by packs of hounds which are themselves treated pretty terribly. The welfare of those hounds is pretty shocking. It's a whole welfare fiasco from every animal's perspective.
Oh, okay. Listen, before I get into the sandwiches, can I just go on to the other thing is public safety. And again, last time Fabian and I went out with the Mendip Farmers Hunt, the hounds got onto a major A road. There was carnage. They were running all over the place. Their traffic was screaming to a standstill. There was a tailback that ran to about, 40, 50 cars. We didn't see it, but we heard from other Sabs that one of the hounds had been hit by a vehicle and had been quickly carried away by some of the hunt followers. And again, these sorts of events are not uncommon. So let's just run through a couple of the hunts here. Beaufort Hunt, 21 incidents of what we call road havoc. Cottesmore Hunt, the hunt that we're at this morning. So in the 22-23 season, the Sabs here recorded 16 incidents of on the road where public safety was at risk. Blackmore and Sparkford Vale, 11 incidents. All in all, 77% of observed hunts were reported as causing at least one incident of road havoc. And again, many videos have been posted this year by the hunt sabs of all sorts of transgressions when it comes to these.
But that's also evidence, isn't it? If they were laying a trail, they would not lay a trail over an A road. If they had control of the hounds, control of what the situation was, as they should be, if they were following a trail, which they are not, then those sort of incidents should not be happening. But they are happening all the time with every sort of hunt, pretty much. So it's evidence. Oh, excuse me.
Another stat.
Wait.
343 police vehicles attended hunting activities during that season. And it says here, obtaining precise figures on policing costs relating to hunting is nearly impossible. This is because in many cases the officers attending do part as part of their routine shifts. As a result, there's no practical way of separating out those costs. In some cases, campaigners have obtained costs of specific hunt-related operations, and they usually relate to cost of policing Boxing Day hunts. West Kent Hunt saboteurs said a Freedom of Information request revealed that policing 2 Boxing Day parades in Kent cost £16,401. That's money coming out of people's pockets, basically to facilitate a parade.
A fox hunt.
Yeah.
So we're paying, essentially, for the policing of these fox hunts, which many people think were outlawed a long time ago. Anyway, we're getting back in the car, I think.
Are we?
We'll go and have a little look.
Okay.
Further. A few supporters a minute. Sorry.
Get in the
back. I've got all the
a few cars have headed out.
All the armies, there we go. Well, if we maybe go on that drift road. Yeah, if we go down that drift road, right? But it looks like a lot of the supporters are also struggling to see what's going on.
Are they vegan?
Supporters heading off.
Yeah.
I guess they're in constant communication with the hunt as well, a little bit.
There will be something. Yeah, there'll be some
A message.
communication lines, aren't there? WhatsApp chats or that sort of thing. But yeah.
There's a lot more cars than I thought there'd be. I was really surprised by that.
Yeah. Again, you see, that mostly the older generation, aren't they? Do you know?
Yeah. Pair of binoculars. Not looking for birds, I'm sure.
No, they're not. No.
The
horse boxes. How's your vegan?
Yeah, vegan sandwiches are very, very good indeed. Does anyone else like one?
I'm okay in a minute.
You sure?
I might save myself, have some later.
I'll save you some crumbs. That's very good.
So what's the plan? Are heading towards a farm or?
Known areas is that side there. So road-wise, we can take the next right and get onto the drift road and see if we can hear. Visual is when it's so poor, so we'll see if we can hear anything. And like I say, I think these supporters are also buzzing around in a little bit at a loss. But yeah, he does like to get in there and stay in there and sort of hide away a bit.
Well, he probably knows that's a harder place for us to get to today.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he doesn't want to be live on all the social media channels.
Well, if he thinks he's doing nothing wrong, I don't see why he shouldn't want to be.
Try and block your filming or smash your cameras or that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, luckily we haven't experienced that today.
Yeah.
I've been going for 2 hours.
That's the other
Yeah,
side
we've got
of the
about
road.
40 minutes left, battery wise.
So,
Yeah, I think more than enough. Eventually, I would say, yeah.
our live stream's been going for 2 hours, so
There you go, yeah.
we've she was grabbing it kind of by the reins and really giving it a good whack. It was horrible to see. The moment it came on social media, it went all over the place, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
And she did end up going to court about that. And so this is the road.
One of their hounds with their foot caught in barbed wire, completely tangled up in the wire. We put that on our social media platforms.
Just looking.
Again, highlighting that it's not just foxes that suffer in this barbaric so-called sport.
No, it's not the hound's fault, is it?
No, well, they're trained, aren't they, during early age, from September to November. They'll call it autumn hunting. It's traditionally called cub hunting. Which, as you were saying earlier, Chris, about the really bad, yeah. Left, is it? I don't think so. Maybe we could go down to the lay-by.
Straight on and right.
Yeah, to have a look down there.
It's 48, isn't it?
Yeah. Although, what was that down there? There was
something down there.
That was there, actually.
Was that them?
Should we have a look?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
Go
Okay,
turn
we'll
around.
turn around.
So we might have just got eyes on them potentially.
Okay, we're coming back up now. We was going to turn right down towards 48 because we saw something, but we'll keep coming up if you think that's wise. Okay, we'll come back up. Okay, mate. Sometimes they second horse there, so.
Right, I see. So they could be changing over.
Yeah, we'll see.
It was down this lane, wasn't
Let's
it?
have a look down the right as well. Just cast your eye down there, see what's.
Couple cars.
That's a hunt supporting vehicle, the green
Yeah.
one, but they both are actually.
They weren't there earlier, were they?
They weren't. So have a little look down there and see.
Nothing down there now. Oh, I know. Ban the ban.
Ban the ban. There you go. So even
Or perhaps we
supporters
should really say strengthen the ban, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Is there even a ban? I don't know. Today would suggest otherwise.
Thanks to Tony Blair, not really.
Looks like it's going to happen around here.
Yeah, all
Possibly
the
along here then.
cars seem to be pulling up on the side of the road.
Could have a look by that track, couldn't we, driver?
Seems like all the cars from where we were just standing have just all come up
Yeah.
this way.
Yeah. There's our other vehicle, so.
Yeah. It's not the most fun way to spend a Saturday morning, is it? You We're very sorry, and we'll keep on it and post any updates that we can anyway. But at the minute we're going to follow down this public footway and we'll go for as long as the battery allows us.
Oh, I was in the back there.
Do you have a little nap?
18%
You had a sandwich.
battery.
18% battery.
18% battery.
Let's go up. We've got hounds in cry.
We've got hounds.
We're coming up to support you. Okay.
Off we go. So hounds in cry mean that they're on the scent of something. You can hear them now. They're quite close actually. Oh, they're really close.
Yeah, I've really gone for it.
Some pointing going on. Right here.
Just here. So they're actually going back this way? They're just in there, going back towards the road actually.
So the hounds are right by this fence. Out of breath from running, trying to keep up with him. Keep it going, horse. Horse coming, Fabe. Quickly run. We're in here. Hounds all over a busy road right now. Going over the road.
Coming down.
And there are loads of cars coming. Absolutely awful. The sound of it. Absolutely dreadful.
What you saw? Absolutely none of it.
Just
Where?
went straight out on the road.
So-
Anyone passing had been there, they'd have just all got ploughed into.
Absolutely.
So what he was just saying, I'm not sure if it got picked up on the mic, the guy on the horseback, he was saying that, yeah, the trail has been laid across the road and that's what he's there to do, to make sure that the hounds run across the road safely. But there was no control. There were cars coming and you wouldn't lay a trail over a busy road.
And also,
Come on!
when the hounds came through here, they all deviated out into the field and then they ran back down here. And again, I'm not being funny, but if you were laying a trail here, you'd just run down the edge of this hedgerow. You wouldn't start.
It's utterly.
It's just nonsense.
It's utter lies.
They were.
You could see that, they're
And
posturing.
interestingly, the way that they've gone towards a wood. What were we saying earlier, where we saw the hounds start with the wood,
Yeah.
circling back and going back to a wood again.
Yeah.
So that wood there is a perfect habitat for a fox that's being hunted to run to try and seek refuge.
Right.
It's. I'm still looking at this.
A poor
Look
animal.
out there, and, you know, just for those of you who haven't been watching all of this, and we have been at it now for 2 hours, and we never expected
more
everyone
than
to
that.
watch all of it. Over 2 hours. Let's just give you a few of those top line stats one more time. Sorry, Beast, this will be
No, go for it.
It's the last time. So, firstly, during the course of the 22-23 season, 15,180 hunting events like the one that we're broadcasting today went out. 46% of those registered trail hunts were caught chasing and killing foxes in that season. 92 deer were chased, 24 were killed. 211 instances of hunt violence were perpetrated, 198 minor, 13 major attacks.
Quad bike on the road. It's going to be muddied out, most likely.
Okay, right, we'll head up there in a second. Okay.
It's highly illegal, obviously.
Tell us when you're back up, though.
Yeah, I will. You could be live at any moment, so
Sure.
everyone stay. Okay, we're live.
Okay, we're back live. Okay, so we lost battery then.
So we're going up towards the sawmill. Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're all right, mate. Well, we're going to the saw. So are we in a good position? Okay. Are we at a good position by the sawmill then, or not? Okay. Well. Okay. Well, yeah, cool. What we're going to do is head towards the sawmill on the Gumby Road now. We'll head into Gumby Village, and if they come north, then we will pick them up. Okay. If you need us to come down to 40 Acre Road, we will, but just let us know. All right, mate. All right. Nice one. All right. Cheers. Bye-bye. All right. So we'll quick look at the maps. So activity back by Gumby Gorse where the hounds went in. Terry men down there.
Right.
Andrew Osborne, as we mentioned earlier.
So give a quick recap, yeah.
Okay. So earlier on, sorry that our live stream cut out. We had a battery went out, but we're back hot on the tail of the Cottesmore Hunt. We're here with the Northants Hunt Sabs, who are showing us what it's essentially like to be a Hunt Sab for the day. And of course, you following along are kind of doing it virtually with us. There's lots of information that you can see that will come up in the banner at the bottom of the screen, with link to the specific Hunt Sab group, as well as the overall part of the Hunt Sab organisations, which you can support in multiple ways. You can give your time, you can donate equipment, you can donate money. Any generosity there would be hugely appreciated. Goes such a long way in seeing the end finally to fox hunting, which is long overdue. But before our battery ran out, the hounds were crying, which means that they were on the scent of something, and the way that they were running over distance and towards a wooded area suggests that it might have been on the tail of a live fox. So we are on our way now to try and catch up with the hunt, and see what they're up to. It's hard. We're keeping to public footway and public access. Possibly can, but just goes to show the hard job that the Hunt Sabs have every single week, multiple times a week, when they come out to monitor this illegal activity.
Just all of a sudden you can sort of looking out and maybe grabbing a quick drink or something, and then bang, you're back in the action, and all of a sudden you've got hounds running all over main roads, causing potential accidents for the hounds and motorists and all sorts,
Yeah.
And then the hunt staff, in that case the hunt whipper in, admitting that they lay trails across roads, and that's because they get them across the road safely. I don't know if the live stream picked that up or not, but
We did get all that.
yeah, we've certainly got it as well. This is because they don't have the answers, You put them on the spot like that, and they just freeze.
He looked a little bit like confused.
Yeah. He's actually the second whipper in this season at the Cottesmore after the previous whipper in left very quickly into the season.
Why was that?
Not 100% sure.
Right.
Could be fallouts in the kennels, or
How far to go? 10 minutes.
Not even that. 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Go right and then go right.
So another battery changes.
I was surprised by how young he was, and they're all seeming to be quite young.
Sorry?
They all seem to be quite young out today. He's
a young
young.
Yeah, he's a young and probably 20 something, And surprisingly, as polite as he comes across to us, he's probably the only one who does. His job is, as I said, a whipper in, which is to assist the huntsman with control of the hounds, and sort of keep them as a pack.
Yeah.
You saw there that he demonstrated quite the opposite.
Yeah.
Clueless. You can't control a pack like that when they're clearly hunting a live animal. Which, despite what he says, they lay trails across the roads. We know damn well that live animals just cross there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all rather bizarre, really. We're going to take the next right. Another call. Hello. Yeah, we're about 2 or 3 minutes from 40 Acre now. Okay, all right, mate. We are about 2-3 minutes away from there.
Yeah, we're getting close
Okay,
again.
cheers, bye, mate.
They haven't seen anything.
Yeah, down by 40 Acre on the road, 40 Acre Wood, which is another quite big wood that they like to hunt.
Similarly, we've just driven past where they started this morning, so they're keeping to a relatively small distance area-ish.
Yeah. We're sort of over towards the Gumby way now, so they have moved a little bit. Yeah, some days they can travel miles and miles, or others they can just do a sort of 2 or 3 mile area. Another call. Hello. Yeah, we're heading to 40 Acre now. We're about 90 seconds away. Yeah. Okay. Cheers. Bye.
Got all these houses here, looking out over a nice field. Bit of, on a nice day, potentially quite a nice view. Not on Saturdays or Tuesdays around this area though.
No. And
when the hunt comes.
This area of Gunby and Surfston in particular is an area that they come to quite often, sort of once a month. But they've lost a lot of land over the time that we've been doing them. The locals round here have got quite a dislike for them. They've had hounds rampaging in farmers' fields, scaring sheep and all the rest of it, you know.
I mean, that's another thing that people can do watching at home to help support. If you find out where a hunt might be meeting up, where you find out what land they're running over, if they're going over a farmer's land or a different type of landowner, you can campaign, whether it be a pub where they're meeting or the landowners themselves. You can send them a very polite, nice email asking them to support, to stop supporting the hunt and to no longer host any of the meets anymore. So that's another way that we can stand up, isn't it, and use our voice.
Absolutely. Use the powers of social media to spread the word. And like you say, if you got information where a hunt might be meeting in the near future or whatever, you can contact the HSA, Hunt Sabs Association, or we've got our own tip-off line specifically for the Cottesmore, and it's always confidential, kept confidential,
of course,
to protect those people who don't like the hunt but know where it might be happening. And that's vital. That's vital that we get the information to be able to turn up and act on it, So we are approaching the 40 Acre wood now, up on our right.
This is where they were heading. What's that up ahead? Is that some more people?
Ahead,
That's just some supporters. It's just a person in the road.
Let's have a look. See, that's the 40 Acre wood there.
Right.
They do actually go that side of the road as well, so we'll see. Yeah, they can go both there.
Again, we're meeting back up with the cars that we're supporting again. It really is cat and mouse, isn't it? This whole situation.
It is. Yeah. And with the weather against us in terms of visibility, it makes things harder. But as you see, we keep going. Hello. Okay, we're at 40 Acres, so we might go around. We've got a lot of supporters here, though. But we'll slowly move round to Gunby Gorse.
I've got to stop for a second.
Okay. All right. Cheers. Bye.
Recognise a few of these supporters. Seen them already a few times.
Hello.
Today.
Okay, I'm going to hop out and have a little... We are...
Okay, so everybody watching the stream, we're just going to sort out the camera, but we will be right back with this live stream, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a minute.
up to that. We'll walk up that bridleway where it all kicked off earlier. That would make sense. But we've had a...
Right, we're back.
Okay,
and we are back.
On live. We've had a few camera difficulties, so anyway, we're back on. I'm gonna have to go there. Cheers. Bye bye. Sorry, Megan.
Thanks everyone for bearing with us. We are back with the live stream. We just had to change 2 battery packs to make sure we could continue bringing the action from the Cottesmore Hunt. Of course, with the Northants Hunt Sabs, who are taking us around for the day as the hunt continues to run through the countryside, chasing hares on the scent of foxes, causing absolute chaos and ridiculous animal cruelty in the name of tradition.
Where are we off to now?
So yeah, we're going to head
back up. Yeah, we're going to head back up on the drift road where the hounds crossed the road about sort of 15-20 minutes ago. Sounds like the huntsman might be taking them back there to try and pick up the scent. That I'm assuming he may well have lost in here. So let's go and have a look.
So this is back where we were running earlier.
Yeah, well,
up the muddy track.
The other foot team have said that he's heading back to that direction. So
right.
We'll have a look. But as you've seen today, things can change really quickly, and he can sort of divert. So you can only go and investigate.
They can change direction a lot quicker than we can.
Yeah,
especially when we're sticking to public footpaths and things.
Which is why I think the Sabs in general across the country do such a good job, because the odds are definitely against us. You know what I mean? In terms of all the supporters they've got blocking the roads, and they're on horses, we're on foot. You know what I mean? There's a lot of the odds are against us, but the HSA in general does such a good job of keeping on the hunts across the country and putting them under so much pressure.
So personally for you then, why was it that you started hunt sabbing?
I got involved because a very good friend of mine told me about it, and I didn't have a clue about it at the time, even though I grew up in the country actually, but I'd never seen a hunt. But and I decided to join my local group at the time, West Midlands Hunt Sabs, on the Atherstone Hunt campaign. That was successful. They're gone now. That's a hunt that was
great,
routinely violent, and chased and killed lots of foxes. But through the Hunt Saboteurs, they were put out of business. So and then just sort of carried on really. But I think it's that sense of injustice and the immoral activities that keeps your fire burning, really, doesn't it? Keeps you turning up to things.
Keeps you motivated.
Yeah, keeps you motivated. Yeah, you got to be dedicated. You got to be at it all the time. You got to be. It becomes part of your life. If it doesn't, you're not going to get anywhere. So, you got to live and breathe it if you want to win, and that's what we want to do: win every time.
Well, I don't have much choice in the matter now. This is such an outdated, horrific thing that it's madness that it still continues. It's just, one of those things that you just couldn't really make it up.
No, they seem to in the waves and sort of getting over it little by little, but
they. Let's see what goes on. This is the track that we ran down not that long ago.
Your guys have just been up there.
And we've got the second team on foot are up that track. So probably led the hounds back around to try and get back onto that scent.
Time to shine, guys.
I mean, now we've probably got another 40 minutes.
Maybe 40 minutes. Okay.
40 minutes on the line.
See if there's any activity, and then we'll give everyone a call to action.
Yeah, we'll do a wrap up, and then we'll continue for as long as the battery will allow us to. Yeah, but there's lots of activity. A lot of the hunt supporters are gathered here, expecting that the hunt's quite close by, some sort of action.
Got a looker.
But it's quite quiet. Hello.
Fancy some stats?
Oh, I'd love a stat. I was just thinking. It's exactly what I was just thinking to myself. I need some statistics. I need some numbers in my life.
Let me delve into my little collection of stats. Interesting stats.
Go on. This is what he does. At any point in time, he's got a collection of stats in his pocket.
Okay.
You never know when it could come out.
Right. Should we do a key recap for
Let's go for it.
Graphic here. We've got a nice little graphic for this one here. So during the 2022-23 season, 78 different hunts were reportedly involved with chasing or killing foxes. Master of Foxhound Association, which oversees the governance, said it had 170 registered hunts during that period, and it means that 46% of those registered hunts were caught hunting foxes, and they span the length and breadth of England and Wales, all the way from the southwest to the northwest and vice versa. So yeah, there we are. And here's a little graphic again from all that information. Remember, this is tip of the iceberg. This is only for the information that was recorded by the Hunt Sabs, and the 15,000 hunts going out throughout the course of the season, so they clearly can't monitor all of those. You would have witnessed some of the difficulties they have monitoring today, sticking to footpaths, sticking to public highways, and trying to see what's going on in the mist. But nevertheless, what we see here is the Warwickshire Hunt: 39 foxes chased, 1 killed. Blackpool, Spartford Vale, 30 foxes chased, 4 of them were witnessed being killed. Beaufort, 12 and 2. South Dorset Hunt, 11 foxes chased, 2 of them killed. The Eggsford Hunt, 10 foxes chased, and 2 of them killed. So if you think that fox hunting is something that's very much of the past, clearly it isn't. That law came in 2004, but it hasn't stopped the illegal activity under the ruse of trail hunting. 15,000 times a year, hunts are going out. 46% of those are chasing and killing foxes. And
not to mention other wildlife as well.
Yeah, all of the deer, and we've seen hare.
We've seen hare being chased today.
This morning as well, of course. Then we've talked about road havoc, blocking the roads, hounds on the roads. We saw that actually at this very spot less than an hour ago, all rampaging onto the roads.
Going through private properties, trespassing in catteries,
yeah,
going on major A roads.
Quad bike here with no visible
number plate covered in mud, which is of course illegal.
So, yeah.
You know, if they've got nothing to hide, you wouldn't do that, would you?
I mean, it's sort of chaos in the countryside, isn't it, really? Sort of orchestrated chaos in the countryside. But obviously, over the course of the new, Christmas period, Labour Party, who have said that in their manifesto they will put an end to trail hunting in the UK, have said that they are going to do that, but it's up to us to hold them to account. So please write to your MP and say you've had enough of this.
Perrymen coming up.
Here they are. Right, let's have another laugh at the number plate.
Yeah. Anyone who gets another letter, guess the number.
Up and down public highways constantly.
Yeah.
Number plate's not visible.
Yeah.
That's illegal.
Yeah,
that is illegal. Going down public highways, they should have the number plate, of course, visibly, but it isn't.
And we were, Fabes and I, at the Mendips earlier in the year, and there were 3 up on a quad bike on a public road with no number plate at all.
Yeah. Highly illegal, not very smart, is it?
Kids as well.
Oh, with children. With children. Of course, safety first, everybody. Safety first.
Yeah. So write to your MPs, please. Let's make sure that ban that they promised is put in place. We need to get that act done. Also, please support the Hunt Saboteurs Association. You can see the links coming up in our stream. So that's here for the Northants Hunt Sabs, Hunt Sabs generally, and also Protect the Wild.
We've got a second horse perhaps coming in.
Don't forget League Against Cruel Sports as well, of course, who are working tirelessly on this. They take a sort of slightly different approach, but it's one which we admire and respect, of course, as they're all trying to do the right thing and put an end to it.
Yeah. I think what we've got some horses coming through.
I think it's a change of horse going on, so let's get out of the way and make sure that happens safely.
Change of horses. So what will happen, of course, all the horses are running over quite a lot of difficult terrain, and they won't want to run for hours on end. So a lot of the hunt will come if it's been a long hunt, and they will switch horses up halfway through. He's coming down now. So we'll have the hunt master perhaps coming down to change the horse.
Huntsman and Whipper.
Huntsman and Hunts Whipper. So the people that we saw earlier with the red coats. Yeah, you can hear the hounds coming, the horns and hounds.
Stephen on YouTube says, "I love stats, all caps."
Thank you, Stephen. We love stats too.
Yeah, thanks,
we do.
Steve. Thanks,
Chris
Steve, for your
loves
vote of
Steve.
support. It's really important to be keeping everyone up to date. I mean, I think the purpose of the stats really is just to let people know how widespread this activity is, because I bet if I'd have asked the vast majority of people who have been viewing this today how many hunts go out during the course of the year, they would not have imagined it was more than 15,000 hunts a year. I think everyone tends to think that this is a sort of a habit of the past. It was banned in the 2000s and it's gone away, but very sadly,
a blemish in the history books.
But it
an
hasn't,
accident not to be repeated.
Hasn't gone away, and we need to make sure that it does as
Lisa
quickly as
says
possible.
on Facebook, when is the ban going to come in after that announcement?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's a question for your MP. If you voted Labour in the last election, and now they have a huge majority, and of course it was in their manifesto that they were going to close the loopholes and put an end to trail hunting, you know what to do. Write to your MP and say you want that done as quickly as possible. Yeah. All sorts of reasons for that: wildlife welfare, animal welfare, human welfare, and of course the cost of policing. I mean,
the list goes on, doesn't it? It's just some things it just needs to be put back in the history books, and we need to put pressure on our politicians to deliver on the promises that they gave us. And then, it's out again, everybody.
No,
the booklet's out. Hold on. Hold on.
Something out my little stat leaflet book.
Chrissy says, "I honestly didn't even know until today that these things still went on." Right.
Okay, so people are still unaware that fox hunting still goes on, but as we've shown today, it still goes on, and it's likely happening closer to you than you think. Here's the rest of the SAB team coming. Hello. Yeah. How's it going? How was it?
Muddy.
Muddy?
But yeah, he's doing his usual backwards, forwards, covering the areas thoroughly.
Right.
His usual practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're definitely on the scent of something. They're crying out.
Yeah. They're relentless. It's what the hounds are trained to do.
Yeah.
You know, they'll keep on hunting until they're called on otherwise by the huntsman, until he instructs them to do otherwise. And now they're second horsing. Which is late.
Late in the day, yeah.
2 o'clock. It's late.
I have a few very tired horses. Beautiful animals.
Stunning.
Yeah. So all saddled up and everything ready to go. You can see the saddle underneath. Bridle and everything.
Yeah.
So they've been in the vans ready to go, already dressed. Bless him. I'm going to get off the road just to cause minimal disturbance to the horse.
Not more stats.
Oh,
Go
no,
on.
right.
Go on.
Oh, right, okay. So I think some of the viewers are saying that they didn't know that this was continuing. Fox hunting, they imagined that it was banned long ago. So I've got a little quote here again. It says, fox hunting was prohibited in Great Britain by the Protection of Wild Mammals Scotland Act 2002, so that was Scotland obviously, and the Hunting Act 2004, England and Wales, which was passed under the Prime Ministership of Tony Blair. Sadly, the practice remains legal in Northern Ireland. The passing of the Hunting Act was notable in that it was implemented through the use of the Parliamentary Act 1911 and 49, after the House of Lords refused to pass the legislation, despite the fact that the Commons passed it by a majority of 356 to 168. Now here's the crunch, here's the nub of it. After the ban on fox hunting, hunts in UK switched to what they claimed were legal alternatives such as drag hunting and trail hunting. Drag hunting obviously can be a legal alternative. So could trail hunting if they actually did it, but they don't. The Hunting Act 2004 also permits some previously unusual forms of hunting wild mammals with dogs to continue, wait for it, such as hunting for the purpose of a So,
Catherine, Paul, some others, they've all emailed their MP.
Catherine and Paul have emailed their MPs. Top work.
Mark as well, Mark Young.
This is a bit absurd, isn't it? We're jogging up a muddy path after 2 horses. I mean, you know, there's other things to do on a Saturday. If we just put an end to this. This is footpath though, yeah? Top work. Oh, here we are. Please take the mic.
So, we're about to change over the horse. Although the current horses have been being ridden for quite a while. Bit of a late changeover. It's quite tiring when you're not on horseback running over this.
What's on today, boy? What's on today? What are you up to today? Are you? What, across road?
Hi puppies.
Across that drift road?
Poor dogs.
2024 it is.
Is it 2024 or is it the 1600s? I'm not sure. I'm not sure it is. We've gone back in time, we've taken a time machine. They'll go this way. Okay. Hi, puppies.
15,000 times a year.
Over 15,000 times a year.
Over 15,000 times a year. And 46% of those hunts have been seen chasing and killing foxes. Oh, couldn't make it up, could you? Not just foxes, of course, but other wild animals.
Yeah, we saw a hare running across the... Two hares running earlier on.
Deer,
yeah, it still continues.
People's pets. Obviously, we were posting earlier this month in our top 20 fox hunting crimes. A cat in someone's garden, torn to pieces.
Yeah.
Caught
Dogs,
on their
cats.
CCTV.
Not to mention the hounds themselves, caught in barbed wire last week.
Yeah.
As well, 1 foot caught in barbed wire. That was footage taken from this hunt pretty recently. Another hound on its own, catching up. Oh, sweet little horse.
I think we'll go back down, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not being funny, but I can think of other ways of having more fun.
I can definitely think of more ways of having more fun. This to me is not fun. You know.
You've got to be, I mean, what goes on, right? I'm not going to pontificate, but what goes on in someone's mind when they want to get up of a morning and come out in the mist and mud, gallivant around the countryside with a pack of dogs intent on tearing a fox to pieces? What is actually happening here at that point?
If anyone's getting any enjoyment out of that, you seriously have to question, don't you, the health of society, because it's just barbaric, absolutely barbaric.
Get a shoe check.
Oh,
Yeah.
here we are.
No.
We got the shoes.
No.
That poor horse looked exhausted as well. Fabian, your shoes don't look much better, to be honest. Although you do have walking boots on. Can hear the quad bikes going now as well. Quad coming around Barry, perhaps. Babes. Fabian. Chris. Ends in a 2-1. That's about as far as I got. It's totally.
2-1 TXB. I know.
Oh, you got it. You've seen it before.
Yeah.
No much point then muddying it out, is there? Oh. We've got a hunt master up front as well. Nice berries out there, look. Nice berry crop.
Absolutely archaic, isn't it? Absolutely archaic that this is sort of going on
It's just mad.
out here, you know.
Still wearing those red coats, just.
They've only put this to bed in 2004. You know, all of the animosity, all the division, all the cost of policing, all of the violence could have ended. So you've just not left that loophole in that act, and that's why that act needs to be closed now to put an end to all of this. It's just ridiculous that this is continuing. I mean, not just here today, but all over the country. There are sabs out today, whilst there are people out trying to murder our wildlife for fun. It's just bonkers.
Biodiversity, climate crisis, and this is how people choose to spend their time.
Absolutely crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
Sad, actually. It feels really sad.
one of the most nature-depleted countries anywhere in the world, where we're doing everything we can to engender a respect and love for wildlife, so that, you know, people will do everything they can to look after it. Meanwhile, this practice continues. Just absolutely bonkers. Really is absolutely bonkers, isn't it? Anyway, I don't know what time it is now. We've been at this for how long? It's
3 hours.
2 o'clock. Yeah, no, we've been doing it for 3 hours now. 3 hours.
Taking the horses off.
Yeah,
I'm just getting into Luke.
yeah.
Right, Luke. We're heading out.
Surriston. I think they've gone up that way according to the other team, so
Okay.
we'll go and have a look.
Heading on.
And then
One more.
Yeah. Well, like what?
one last look up and then.
Yeah, so
We'll have another look.
We'll do this because we're worried about our batteries. So we'll
Check the batteries.
We'll jog up the road and then see what's going on there, and then we'll do our
We'll do a wrap up.
we'll
and
do our
continue.
wrap up. Because,
Oh, wait, horse is stuck in the mud. stream. Too many hundreds of people. They're foxhounds. They can't get off the verge. It's got stuck in the mud. How embarrassing. Cottesmore Hunt 101. Shall we go? Yeah, it's better that we've chased the hunt, not what we're trying to get unstuck from the mud. Changing the horse over, one of the two.
Am I spinning?
Looks like quite a fresh horse, that one. Doesn't look very muddy.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
Yeah. I've got a
Very
new...
well, boy.
Yeah.
Good turn here, come on.
Yeah.
You never know, as today's proven, you just never know. Just never know who's going to turn up.
We've got a live stream every Hunt Sab incident.
That's right.
The battery pack fell out of the thing, so it's actually gone off.
Oh.
Yeah. The battery, so you have to plug in a battery pack, and it was on 4%, which was cutting it fine, to then boost it back up again. And I think it, battery packs, they sometimes don't.
We may or may not be live right now. This is
Please do not swear.
the joy of
the
joy of really rough cut broadcasting.
No, it's all right.
We're all
get
good.
better signal as we keep going.
Power on through.
Away.
Most important things, we keep on top of them.
Yeah, we are live.
We are live. Oh, that's good.
Oh.
Might be worth having a listen along here, drive with the load.
Do some water.
Let's do our wrap up then, just in case. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean it's all right. It's powering up, so.
Are we up? Okay. So, true to televisual form, we're suffering some technical difficulties. So, what we're thinking is that we might sort of make sure that we've got everything that we need to say at the end of this in the can now. So, the first thing I'd like to say is massive thanks. Thanks to you and all of your team. Well, not all of them are here. They're still spread out, monitoring what's going on at this moment. But, enormous respect and admiration, out in all weathers, all the time. Now, typically getting abuse. We've had a really quiet day.
Yeah, it's been relatively quiet for these lot. Yeah.
I mean, no one swore at me all day.
No one swore. There's not been any stewards dragging people around or, any of that sort of thing. So, relatively quiet, really, yeah.
And that's not typical for this particular hunt, where over the last, year, you've had some of the worst hunt violence.
Yeah. Starting at the start of this year, it was seriously bad. It was covered in the national media. Females dragged all over the ground, windows smashed with lump hammers. So yeah, we've had a rough time, but we're still here. So.
And we spoke to your colleague who'd actually been driven into as well. It doesn't get much worse than that. And another one of your colleagues who we didn't speak to, but a huntsman jumped over a fence with a horse deliberately right into him.
Yeah, she's not here today, but if she was, I'm sure she'd give a account of it. But yeah, it's this huntsman, Sam Jones, who did that. So they've got particular bad form. So, I mean, look, this is direct action. It's activism in the field. There's all sorts of, people have different ideas about that, but it works, doesn't it? Ultimately, it's working because the number of people participating in these illegal hunts is on the decline. Yeah, well, you see today there's only about sort of 10 cars and 12 riders, I think, and there's probably only about 4 or 5 left. So, sort of this particular hunt, it's definitely working. I think across the country it is as well. Yeah. Okay, and a lot of the people who've been watching today have been staggered at the number of hunts that are out there, and were saying that they thought the whole thing had packed up and was over. But sadly, as we've seen this morning, it's not the case. No, it isn't. But it's down to the Hunt Sabs to keep at it, keep active, keep out in the field, keep highlighting it, and keep trying to save lives, and ultimately campaign to push the ban through, push a proper ban through.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, well, look, thank you ever so much for hosting us today.
Yeah,
we really appreciate that, and look after yourselves in future.
Stay safe, but keep at it.
Yeah,
You've
thanks,
done amazing
guys.
work.
And if you have been watching, the links have been up, and you can donate directly to the Northants Hunt Sabs, always in need of equipment. We talked about drones earlier.
We talked about drones. You've got the personal cameras, of course, which they wear here for their own safety to record everything that goes on. Vehicles, vehicle damage to repair that. There's so much equipment that's needed, like sat-navs, things like that, to get them safely from A to B, to keep an eye on the hunt. So any sort of equipment, any sort of donations that you can give are massively appreciated. The Hunt Saboteur organisation is brilliant at keeping us informed. That's very fast. Hunt supporter going past. Brilliant at keeping us updated with the news from what's going on with illegal fox hunting in the UK. It's still very much alive and running, although numbers are dwindling, as we said earlier on. But there's so much you can do. Perhaps you could even give your time. Perhaps you'd want to go and be a hunt sab. There's lots of information on the websites if you do want to give your time to do this. It's a very noble thing to do, but you do need dedication and a lot of hard work and willingness to be out in the rain, in the cold. But, you know, that is a brilliant thing. More boots on the ground, more eyes watching this. Yes, donate, sign petitions, message your MP.
Message your MP. Also, we have to say a big thanks to Protect the Wild, who took all of the Hunt Sabs information from that season that we've been reporting on here. They've got that report on their website. There's also a fundraiser on there. Protect the Wild are also running a petition, which you might think about signing, asking for our current government to make sure that the holes in the ban are, the closed loopholes are closed and the ban is properly put into force. So you could think about signing that petition as well. All to mention League Against Cruel Sports. There's a whole range of different people who are working, you know, towards the end here. League Against Cruel Sports, a different set of techniques, not so much in the field these days, but they're constantly lobbying government, working behind the scenes to get that. So check out their websites too to do that.
Support these organisations, but imagine if everybody who's viewed this live stream today emails their MP. That would be amazing. That would make us feel really happy and really help support the work of the Hunt Sab. So if you can do that, message your MP now and just say, hey, did you know that over 15,000 hunts go out every single year in a season? Did you know that 46% of those fox hunts chase and actively kill foxes? Did you know?
That went across the water field. Oh, it was a hare, I think. It was a hare.
Was it a hare?
It was a hare, yeah, sorry.
See the crows taking flight.
I thought it was a fox, but
another hare.
In the mist.
Another hare.
Oh, Chris losing cred points in the mist.
How embarrassing, Chris.
Well, I didn't say it was a fox. I didn't say it was a fox, did I? I did see it was a hare in the end. All right, okay, all right. Anyway, listen, and thank you all for watching and sharing, all of our supporters who, you know, pass this around on social media to make sure it got the biggest audience possible. We really appreciate your support today as well. And of course, rather like the Hunt Sabs, we won't be giving up.
No.
In the words of the great man, Arnold Schwarzenegger, we'll be back.